Does this mic work?
Hello?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they are talking about.
Sounds like something a guy in a van would tell me.
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you! Come on!
With Kevin,
Don't listen to Stefan and his prep rules.
Stefan,
Fuck Philly.
and Corey.
I hope everyone has a ball.
We like sports and we don't care who knows.
Gonna enjoy the Eagles loss on Sunday.
We throwing a side bet on this or what? Side bet, real quick. We're off the air. Shotgun a beer.
I gave up alcohol.
Ah,
How about I chug 2 pints of water instead? That's pretty bad.
Gave up alcohol, right? That's
Yeah.
it?
Willie has to pound some donuts.
Ooh, I could do
Put the
donuts.
calories on them. Pound them with some calories.
Water's pretty bad.
Alcohol or pound some donuts? Your choice.
15 in a minute? 8? Alright, cool. I'll go with 8.
Well, I'm just gonna shotgun a beer.
Okay. Well, I hope you're thirsty on Monday.
Mini donut. Well, mini donut.
Shake.
All right, here we go. Foles complete at the 30. Now it's Aguilar. He will send it back to Foles. What's the name of this play? We know this isn't the Philly special.
No, it's not. It's rugby ball, buddy.
Levante David falls on it, and that will do it.
I don't think that's ever been successful. Not 90 yards to go. But the Bucs got to feel really good about this W. Defending their home turf, get another spectacular, magical game out of their quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Their defense rose to the occasion after getting gassed last week at New Orleans. This is a proud moment for the Bucs, beating the Super Bowl champions. And Philadelphia will go home and regroup.
And here we go.
We Might Know Sports, episode 88.
Michael Irvin.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Week 2 of the NFL in the books
Also Marvin Harrison, right?
is a bum.
Fun.
Yeah. Just like most of that intro today was a bum-ass intro.
Shots
That was
fired
my
early.
best. My best intro ever.
He said he's coming in hot today, though, so.
Yeah, so hot he's not shotgunning his beer today.
2 weeks into the season, and I'm already saying, fuck it. Done.
You're done with what?
Called it quits. I don't even want to watch anymore.
Any more football? You're
No,
done?
I'm done watching football.
That's quick.
Wow.
Just kidding. Wentz is back, week 3.
I'm excited after week 2. I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty sure Kevin is. We're probably pretty excited.
What was it, Monday? I went into work and I go, I don't know. I just have this little ippity, I don't know how to feel. And I was asked why. I go, because both my teams won this weekend and they're both undefeated still. I don't know. I don't know how to feel. It's been so long. Also, I want to shout out to the Seattle Storm.
Oh, yeah, Brianna Stewart. Central New York's own, getting a championship.
Maybe the greatest ever. Go.
Well, she
winning.
was
She probably will be.
She
Go
was
status. Go
coach.
to
winning.
Go to Goats.
She was coached by one of the greatest coaches ever.
Yeah,
Is
she
she
needs
on the-
more than one.
Is she on the path to be better than Diana Taurasi?
Diana's not even the GOAT. What are you talking
Sue Bird? Who is?
about?
Lisa Leslie?
No. The consensus, because I won't say there is one. I won't give my opinion. The consensus is it's either Lisa Leslie or Cynthia Cooper. Pick one.
I mean, Lisa Leslie was the first one to dunk, right?
Lisa Leslie's first one to dunk.
There you go. There
She
you
has
have it.
2 championships. She has 4 Olympic golds. Cynthia Cooper only has 1 Olympic gold, but she won the first 2 championships back to back.
She ever
When the
dunked?
WN. No, she was a 3. She was like Diana Taurasi
Okay.
before we had Diana.
Stefan only cares about the dunks.
You can't dunk. You don't
You don't
get
like
to be
the
a goat.
3-point shooter? You don't like the Curry? You'd rather the
Curry
Jordan?
could dunk, though.
When does he dunk?
He doesn't, but he can. If he wanted to.
Do we know if he
Yes, I've seen him. Like one time.
does?
It's basically my career. Dunked that one time.
Won that one time. You guys are on the same height.
Nobody really knows what I dumped though.
Okay.
Shitty week. I'm a little amped up though right now.
Kevin's question of the week. Let's
Not
get
there
right
yet.
into
I'm
it.
not there yet. I'm not there yet.
I was gonna say, who the fuck is Jameis Winston? But that's later. We'll talk about.
Perfect.
I'm all amped up because I do a little bit of chest compressions today, help save a life.
Oh,
Ooh.
So
you saved someone's life today?
it happened about 4 hours ago, so
Wow.
I'm still
not
right.
bad
I'm
on
still
drugs.
right at that
All
high.
right. So
That will do it.
But yeah, we got now we can get into Kevin's question of the week.
Well, he said, "Who the fuck is Jameis Winston?" Did you see our quote?
no,
Zoom in on our quote.
hold on.
This team is garbage. Vontae Davis.
He said it at exactly 3 minutes before halftime ended,
And then retired.
as he was leaving the stadium.
Someone heard him. We caught it. We put it up there.
We'll talk more about that in a little bit. I believe that's
Shout
one of my.
out to people who just realize how garbage a team can be and just walk out.
Could I just do that
on
with my?
getting paid?
Can I do that with my fantasy team right now?
You could do that on the league.
This team is
Just walk
garbage.
out on the league.
I don't think the league's garbage. I just think my team is.
Oh, that's arguable. The league could be garbage.
Well,
It's questionable at this point, I
Is it?
guess.
I mean, I am the third ranked team.
Well, you got Kevin 2-0 right now. Something suspect's going on right now.
Whew. Feels so good to be me right now. Like,
Both your teams are undefeated. Your fantasy team's undefeated.
start off
working
hot.
out.
What's going on with you?
You know, I was saving it up. You guys thought I was just like falling apart with NASCAR and everything. I was just
You're bottling it all up to just.
I
one-
was studying on other things and focusing my
Gotcha.
energy. Yeah.
It's understandable.
Even though I have nothing to do with Tampa Bay and Syracuse football, but
Yeah, but then you came right back in NASCAR and got it together.
Yeah.
I found a
Make a run.
horseshoe apparently.
At least steal that second place spot from Corey.
Nah, I regained like most of the 50-point
Yeah.
advantage
Yes.
Corey had in one
Pretty
week.
much. Actually, you regained all of them.
You
Didn't
gained 40 of it.
Yep. So
He started out with 0. I started out with 50. I only got 10. He got 50.
Oh, I thought you got
So I'm 10 points ahead. Luckily, I placed for a stage. We'll get to that though.
Kevin's question of the week. Do we want to go over last week's question?
yeah,
So-
because it ended up 50-50, and there was a lot of. I think I said in the middle of the question. I think people didn't realize what they were voting on, and they admitted it. Some of them, at least, and by some I mean one, said that she just voted for Disney World. So it finished 50-50. Last week was, now that we've seen him play, how do you feel about your team's Super Bowl chances? And 50-50 is the case. I did notice Corey and I are feeling pretty good. And then Stefan, not so much.
Wow.
I won't disclose anyone else from the poll, but I will just say there's a Seahawks fan, there's a Bills fan, and there's someone leaving our fantasy league in the no section. But this week's question has to do with quarterbacks. My quarterback.
That's my quarterback.
Who had a better first 2 weeks? And that is this guy. I don't even know why I had to throw the other guy in. Patrick Mahomes is the
Just
other.
put a picture of Conor McGregor up. That's all you did. You didn't. It's not. He doesn't even play football.
Isn't fighting anymore?
Yeah, it's coming up October
know.
6th. Actually, that's exciting. That is.
We're not there yet.
That's exciting. There's a press conference coming up next week, so stay tuned for that magic. No fans allowed, only media. So there's that.
It'll be a show, that means.
We have 7 votes so far, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is in the lead at 57%.
So I voted for.
I mean, if you take into account what was expected out of them, you guys didn't think he was going to win anything.
But no
now
one
he's
thought
won
Patrick Mahomes was either.
Here's the thing.
Including
This is
you.
Okay, you're right. But this is my argument. I did think that Patrick Mahomes was not going to be good. He wasn't proven. So for me, I just thought that a guy coming into a starting role, he's only been in the league for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Mahomes?
Yeah.
2. This is his second.
Yeah.
Same draft class as Trubisky, who was drafted number 2 overall, or number 1. Number 2. Mahomes drafted number 10, and Deshaun Watson drafted number 13. How's that looking for the Bears? Idiots. They had Mahomes or Watson ahead of it.
But the reason I'm going to argue more for Fitzpatrick is we've all seen Fitzpatrick. We all know what Fitzpatrick does.
He can get hot like this.
He can get hot like this. You're right. But do you expect him to get hot like that? After he's really been irrelevant for how many years now?
We've only seen him put together one solid year, whole year, one time. But like I said to you, he had Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker.
Yeah.
This is the first time since then that he has had big-time weapons. Mike Evans, O.J. Howard, Deshaun Jackson. And he's lighting it up with it.
But can you not argue that Mahomes has ridiculous weapons as well?
I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think Travis Kelce is the best tight end in football right now. I think it's over for Gronk. I think I've been overtaken by Kelce. So, yes, he has that. Kareem Hunt isn't much of a factor, though.
He has a head. I mean, they haven't really had to use him.
And then Sammy Watkins, I personally don't think is that great. That's me. And Tyreek Hill, yes, is probably the most explosive player in the league.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just Tyreek Hill. I think that's the only weapon you need. If you just have Tyreek Hill, you've got better weapons than anybody.
And Kelce.
No matter what group you pick out of the whole league, they don't match up to Tyreek Hill.
I feel like when you put the quarterback with arguably the biggest arm in the league meshed with the fastest player in the league, we're seeing what's happened. It's spelling trouble for everybody.
I really thought that I know you talked about him having the biggest arm and everything, but I really thought that accuracy was going to be more of an issue with him. Obviously, I mean, when you got somebody that fast, probably doesn't.
That's what I mean. It looked like he overthrew.
You just launch
Tyreek
it up
Hill.
there, and he just goes and gets it. You know,
there was a couple of ways it looked like he overthrew Tyreek, and Tyreek is that fast.
And really, even with Tyreek Hill, you don't even have to. They don't have to all be bombs. You just get the guy in some open space, and he's going to do the rest for you.
On the flip side,
then it just looks great for you.
On the flip side, I mean, he's 32 years old, so he's not quite Tyreek Hill right now. But the Bucs have Deshaun Jackson, who is very similar, taking the top off that defense, and they have a quarterback who can throw the deep ball, and it's working out right now.
Sean, you can come back to that.
All of a sudden, at 32 years old, Deshaun Jackson's revived.
It's only when he plays the Eagles.
He did good the first week.
Yeah, not that good, though.
He had 2 touchdowns.
It's not that good.
He's just hating. He's mad. Yeah. Deshaun Jackson's the best receiver they had in years.
I mean, other than Mike Evans, he had Vincent Jackson back in the day, but he was on his downhill. Anyway.
Yeah.
So go ahead and vote. I'll share it again at some point.
I mean, we'll go right into the Eagles Tampa game right now. I really felt like, I mean, you guys, Bucs played great offense. I can't
first half
take anything away from that. But as far as, I feel like the Eagles offense just stalled so much, and with Foles, it just hasn't been as it looked at the end of last year with Foles. And I've argued this and told everybody this, that I think Foles just got hot at the right time, which is all it really takes in the playoffs. You just gotta get hot at the right time.
Is that what you think Fitzpatrick is? Just hot at the right time right now?
Right now, yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is.
You don't think it's sustainable?
And that's why, I mean, I've talked to both you guys about it a little bit off air. I really think that once Winston comes back, I don't think I feel like it's hard for them to. I think they put Winston in, but at the first sign of trouble, I think they go ahead and, especially if they're winning, if they win all these games with Fitz, and then Winston comes back and all of a sudden they're looking god awful. I mean, you got to make the switch right back at that point.
Honestly, there shouldn't
the hot hand.
Honestly, there shouldn't be trouble, but the offense I think will be different because Winston doesn't throw that deep ball. My opinion becomes less of a factor, but you run more slants, you run more underneaths with OJ Howard, maybe slant Evans. Godwin is showing to be a nice player. So I think the offense changes a little bit with Winston, but you still have a ton of weapons. I still think the Bucs should be okay. Like you said, if Winston makes bad decisions and starts throwing picks that are ugly, then yeah, he's out of there. But I really don't know if offense might not have that explosion, but I think the offense is still going to move the ball with Jameis back. There's too many weapons, I think. Kevin, what do you think about your team?
I think you guys are wrong. I think you should keep starting Fitz until he goes cold. He's looked good during preseason. All throughout training camp, he was amazing according to reports. He went 2-1 last year with the same team that Winston went 2 do the math. 2-11. There you go. They went 4-12, right? I don't even remember. It was a rough year last year. All I'm saying is you don't want to mess with the offense until you need to. I told you guys at the beginning of the year, you don't see less than 4 games out of Fitzpatrick. They're coming off of a Monday night game this week into the next week. So you got a little short turnaround, one day. You know, some people say whoop-de-doo, but it doesn't make a difference in planning. You also haven't had him in action for 3 weeks, and you're going off of all this. And you're going into a bye week, I believe, in week 5. So why not just have him start 4 weeks? If he starts to show those signs, though, in week 4, maybe throw Winston in. What do you got to lose? You weren't expected to do much, so why not? Why not give it a shot?
But my argument with that is money usually talks. Is Winston still playing on his rookie contract, or did he get paid already?
It's his rookie contract. Fitz is making more than Winston right now, I believe.
Okay.
I agree with your other argument. I don't think money talks. I think youth talks.
Yeah.
If you switch over,
they really, I mean, I don't know what you've heard from, like, as far as reports coming out of the Bucs and stuff. I mean, if they're starting to like cool off to Winston, maybe they don't feel like he is their future, then I could see them going with Fitz. But if Winston's your future, I mean, you've got to put him back in when he's ready.
It's hard to hand the reins over to a quarterback in his mid-30s, because where do you expect to go from there?
Mm-hmm.
When you've just told your quarterback that's in his early 20s you aren't good enough. I just don't think that's a smart. They got to.
That's why I say, like, it's still early in the season, so you put Winston in for a game, and he underperforms, as most of us expect him to probably do. And then at that point, you would get no backlash from go ahead and pulling him and throwing Fitz back in there, and then if Fitz obviously plays well, you just keep Fitz in.
See, I don't expect him to underperform. I think the Bucs are different this year.
I think you guys are looking at it as a future thing, and I'm seeing Dirk Cutter looking at this is his job. He almost lost it to Gruden this past year. If the Bucs had offered Gruden the right amount, he would have been out of there. They didn't look good with Winston as quarterback. They threw Fitzpatrick in there when he got hurt last year. They went 2-1, and now he did all that fun jazz afterwards. And you don't want to mess with the flow of the rhythm for 1 week and then go into a bye week with a loss. So why not keep him in and then maybe bring Winston in after the bye week if that's your mind frame of keeping youth?
I mean, at the end of the day, none of us get paid enough
Yeah.
to make these decisions, so there's a reason that we're here talking about it and not actually making
Plus,
these
the
decisions.
people that are there every day really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I really believe, when,
We see them once a week. They
Right.
see them all week.
the controversy with Garoppolo and Brady, Belichick obviously sees something in Brady that's declining, and obviously saw something in Garoppolo that was unique and a once comes around every so often. And that was when you got that huge dispute in New England. We don't get to see that. To me, Tom Brady looks better, but we don't get to see it every day. So I trust Bill Belichick over myself, obviously. I'm sure he saw something.
At the end of the day, though, I mean, whether they look better or not, like, you have to realize that you have to make a decision for the future. Like, that's what happened with McNabb. McNabb wasn't really declining in Philadelphia, but at the end of the day, they knew that he was going to start declining. You had a young up-and-comer
I
that
think
they thought was going to be the future,
Andy
and you
Reid's
make that move.
kind of making that decision
Yeah.
again, right? Alex Smith wasn't bad
Alex
last
Smith
year.
had his best year ever.
Yeah. And he said, well, we got this young kid, though, that's on
Right.
the up and up. Bye-bye, Alex. Andy Reid knows when to cut the ties. Even though it seems wrong when he does it, he seems to know the right time.
You know who doesn't know when to cut the ties? Chip Kelly. Cut him way too early.
Thought you were going to say Jason Garrett. I know how much you love Dak.
To
Jason Garrett needs to go. Not Dak. Jason Garrett needs to go.
to fill
You know,
you
how
in
he stole
on
the
where
job.
they are down in Tampa Bay, 6 hours ago this was published. Bucks are beginning to take sides on Ryan Fitzpatrick or Jameis Winston, with Deshaun Jackson favoring Fitzgerald.
I figured.
Of course, because
Fitzpatrick.
he's got the guy who can throw the deep ball.
Mhm. So that's already coming out.
Yeah, see, that's the nice thing about the Eagles is that everybody talked about, like, oh, what if Foles comes out and plays like he did at the end of the season, you know? But luckily for us, we don't have that controversy because he's looked like garbage.
Well, and I don't even think, even if he played well, I think that whole team rides with Wentz.
I think even
I don't
Foles
think there'd be
himself rides with
Yeah,
Wentz.
I
Like,
don't think
Foles
there'd
has,
ever be
Foles
controversy.
has said from the beginning of offseason that, you know, this is Wentz's team. He's going to be there, you know, to do whatever he has to do, but that's Wentz's team.
So you didn't really talk about the game. Why did Philly not win?
The offense was stagnant. Offense was stagnant. Couldn't stop the big plays. Every time they'd start getting back in the game, they had, you know, first play of the game to Deshaun Jackson. Bombs, you know, gets a bomb. 75-yard touchdown. So that's a great way to start off the game. Another huge play to O.J. Howard.
That was bad tackling, though.
That was
They let him run all
Yeah.
over.
Other than that, I mean, they made it. They came back and made a game out of it, but I don't really feel like they were ever really in the game. Honestly,
I didn't think they were either.
it was just, you know, every time I felt like they got closer, and then something stupid happened. They had a lot of penalties. There was one drive where they were like starting to threaten to score. You know, then I'm talking to my buddy for a little while, having a few drinks. Also, I look up and it's 3rd and 40. I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Oh yeah, it was a bunch of holding
They're like
calls.
back on like the
and,
20-yard line or something. I'm like, Jesus, what the? It's like we were just looking to score. I thought there was like a turnover or something. And, you know, we got the ball back. You know, after that, but it's like no, that was still the same drive. We just kept getting penalties. I don't know what the penalties ended up being, like yardage wise, but they gotta figure that shit out. Got to stop the big plays. I think it was even Malcolm Jenkins that got burned on that first one. He bit on Deshaun Jackson. He thought he was going to do like an out route.
Yeah.
And Deshaun Jackson just kept running. And Malcolm Jenkins came up and out. And, you know, at that point, the corner was already burned. There was nobody back there to help. I mean, I feel like the defense is still there. I feel like the defense is still good. Darby didn't look great this game. He looked great the first game.
You mean Darnold?
No, fuck off. Got it right this time.
I think Tampa's allowed the least amount of sacks.
That helps. the hell should you put up monster games?
I
mean,
believe they were first, which surprised me, and that Tennessee Titans offensive line, who everyone raves about, is second. I know they're good, which is why they can win games with
Chiefs have to be
Blaine
good too,
Gabbert.
because Mahomes only got sacked twice so far this year. I really didn't think Tampa was going to sustain this.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, the big test is this next week. Anyway.
They beat two legit
it?
teams, one on
Pittsburgh
the road,
hasn't
right?
looked
and
impressive.
Saints.
What'd you say?
Pittsburgh hasn't looked impressive.
No, but now you're playing a team that can put up points.
They already did that with the Saints.
Saints going to put up points.
Do you
What do
see?
you mean? The Saints put up 40 points.
Yeah.
Fuck you mean they can't
They
put up
played
points?
Cleveland and couldn't do shit.
But what do you mean they can't put up points?
They didn't do it for 2 weeks.
You have Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara.
They didn't do it for 2 weeks.
Now,
They
is
did-
that a testament to New Orleans not having an offense or Cleveland
They put
having
up
a really
points
good
this week
defense?
either. 27.
I mean, they're the number.
What did the Saints put up this
They're
week?
the number 2 offense.
21.
21. It's not that much less.
Yeah.
I can't move this.
You're really going to argue 21 and 27?
The Saints aren't in the top 5.
Steelers
Fucked up.
tied the same team, 21-21.
Well,
So-
yeah, the Bucks scored 48
48. hmm
and then 27. So they've scored more than the Saints both times. Yeah, I'll give you that argument.
Steelers scored 21 and 37.
I mean, I think the Browns' defense is.
So
a lot
wait,
more
what the
legit.
Saints score? 40 and 21.
Yeah.
So that's 61. And what the Steelers do?
21 against the Browns and 37 last week against the Chiefs.
They're at 58. So they're similar offenses.
Mhm.
But I mean, can't we just admit the Steelers have more explosion than the Saints?
If Bell was there, sure, yeah.
Yeah. If Bell was there. Is he reporting this week? Do you have inside information that we don't know?
I don't think Connor's that bad, but
He's not bad.
He's not bad. He's actually pretty good,
Yeah.
but I haven't been impressed with the Steelers lately.
I was more impressed with them this week, and I was more impressed and much happier that they did it without Antonio Brown. All the points.
This
He
is
threw all these touchdowns, and none of them to Antonio Brown, and I was thrilled about that.
Steelers going to the game 1.5 favorites. So it's going to be a close game, according to Vegas.
I hope it's a shootout.
Mhm.
Great.
oh, so I'm not an idiot for thinking it's going to be a good game. Apparently, the rest of the country fucking agrees with me.
Nah, just
No, you were saying Tampa
Somebody
didn't.
said it wasn't going to be
yeah,
a good game.
Yeah.
I said they're playing someone who's going to put up points. And
But
it-
you were acting like,
Like-
the Saints couldn't put up points. You put
Yeah.
40 points in the game. That's fucking putting up points. I don't care what you did the
what was
second
the
week.
biggest point discrepancy in the game? Was it like a tit for tats, touchdown here, touchdown there? Or did the Buccaneers not really need to score anymore and the Saints just kept scoring points because they already had a huge lead?
Well, the Saints were playing from
Or
behind.
the Bucks, already had a huge lead, so it didn't matter.
But they ended up coming back and
Yeah.
getting close, and then
Tampa was up
My point is
24.
defenses let up when you don't need it, when it doesn't matter. Look at Seattle. That last night. That ended up being a 1-touchdown game. Was that a 1-touchdown game? Did either of you watch it? It wasn't.
Yeah.
It's because the Bears defense quit. It didn't matter anymore. Once they got that pick 6, the game was over.
I started worrying, though, when I saw Russell Wilson down near the end zone.
regardless, 40 points is 40 points.
Okay. Agree to disagree, I guess.
Guess so. Let's talk about the Thursday night game.
Speaking of points,
That feels like so long ago.
Cincinnati went up 21-0, and the game never really. I mean, that was halftime. The third quarter made me a little nervous. They seemed to let up as Baltimore crawled their way back in. And then the fourth quarter, the Bengals clamped down on defense and started kicking field goals and pulling the game away.
By the way, those that actually paid attention to the game, halftime was 28-14.
For the Bengals game?
Yeah.
I know it was 21-0 at one point,
Yeah.
so it just didn't seem like it was close.
Mr. AJ Green had, 3 touchdowns? And for
Yeah.
the first...
They had no catches in the second half.
So basically, The only thing that makes me nervous is now did we just play two teams that aren't that good? Baltimore looked good against the Bills, but then they play another team that's probably mediocre, and they didn't look very good.
As the Bengals are mediocre?
Yeah.
You don't think that Bengals are a real deal?
I don't trust Baltimore. I don't think Baltimore's the real deal.
I mean, I don't think
Because
anybody...
they blew away.
I don't think anybody's going to argue
They
with
blew
you
away
that
the Bills.
Baltimore's...
Big deal.
I don't think anybody expected Baltimore to be the real deal this year.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to sit here and argue that they are.
I'm more impressed that Cincinnati, like I said, can put points on the board.
I think Cincinnati is improved. I don't know what they did to improve.
They vamped off. They claimed that their woes were the offensive line, so they went and drafted and traded for offensive linemen, and they claimed that was going to change everything. I wasn't a believer, but now it seems to be real. So I can't say too much. The only downfall is Mixon got hurt in that game and is out for 2 to 3 weeks. But Giovanni Bernard, I'm a big fan of. He's explosive. They should be okay.
As long as you guys are playing for Super Bowls, I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah. I mean, we should at least be in the playoffs and lose first round again.
Yeah.
That's Marvin Lewis's trademark.
Andy Dalton will go down week 17. Not even make it to the playoffs.
So bottom line, anyways, I'm not excited about beating Indy and Baltimore. I will be excited if we go into Carolina and pull out of them.
And I'm on that gravy train.
I think you're the only one.
No, Kevin did too.
Oh, really?
We both went with Bengals. Spoiler alert.
What? What did I do?
For our pick 'em.
Oh.
I said I'd be impressed with the Bengals if they went into Carolina and pulled out a win.
This is the first week you went against the Bengals, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like I have their pulse. I feel like this just isn't one that's...
I don't know. After Carolina lost to the Falcons, I'm not a believer in Carolina. Sorry. As much as I would have liked to have picked Carolina, being at home too.
Carolina, another team not putting points on the board. 16 the first week, 21 the second week.
Not impressive. So, let's get your 3 biggest takeaways of week 2, Corey.
We kind of touched on the first one. The biggest one is I am a little bit shocked that the Bengals currently have a top 5 offense. The number 1 offense is the Chiefs. The number 2, the Bucks. The Ravens. Number 4 is actually the Bengals. And number 5, the Rams. I don't know what to make of the Bengals being a top 5 offense right now. I feel like they played Indianapolis and Baltimore. The only thing that I'm hearing other Cincinnati Bengals fans say is, well, Baltimore's defense didn't make any changes. And they were one of the best ones last year, so Cincinnati should be happy to beat Baltimore like they did.
To be
But should I
fair,
be?
to be fair, they lost C.J. Mosley quite early in that game.
Yes,
as well.
they did, and that was a big hit.
makes
Yeah, we watched that. That was a big difference.
a big difference.
So I'm not getting overly excited, but I am happy to see that the Bengals, as compared to last year, who didn't score a touchdown until their 3rd week, are a top 5 offense.
And to make an argument on that, I mean, we all play fantasy football. Somebody puts up monster scores or, has a great, scoring team first 2 weeks. Do we really buy into them being a great team?
Not yet.
No. It's kind of got to be like a little like
I need to see
5
5.
weeks. 4 or 5 weeks. And you're like, okay, all right, I'll believe
They're
you.
real.
You're the real deal. Okay.
So going right into the real deal, the Cardinals are not. They're pitiful. They've only scored 6 points in 2 games.
3 points a game. That's all I'm
Larry
looking for.
Fitzgerald, I'm sorry, you should have retired. Sam Brad.
Do you think he's washed up, or do you think?
I feel like he thinks about what Vontae Davis thinks right now.
he should have either gone to another team or just retired.
Just retired. I think it's time to move Rosen in. It can't hurt. You can't put less than six points up in the next 2 weeks.
Especially if Bradford's not playing well.
Right.
She hasn't.
Yeah, Bradford. David Johnson, I didn't believe in. He's not doing too much. Because there's no threat at quarterback. So, moving on to my third one, on the opposite side, I think the Jags, even though it is only 2 weeks, are for real. They're protecting Blake Bortles. He's looking good like he did in the playoffs. He's kind of carrying that momentum. I wanted to see him versus a team that I consider a top competitor every year, the New England Patriots. and they seemed to handle their business and they were in control most of that game without Leonard Fournette. That was really impressive to me. So I'm all in. I'm buying in on the Jaguars. All in.
You joining?
I'm joining.
You're on. You're on. The only thing I have with the Jaguars is that, we've seen two different sides of Blake Bortles so far this season. The first game did not look impressive, and then this week threw 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So, which Bortles are you going to get? Their defense is obviously going to keep him in every game.
I don't know his first name, but that Cole kid seems to be the real
Cole.
deal. Keelan. I want to say Keenan. Keelan Cole is real. That catch was amazing. The one hand,
that was
sick.
That was...
The Jags have potential. Definitely potential. Super Bowl contender already after 2 weeks, according to Vegas.
Or my Super Bowl contender off-season. Week 1, preseason.
My pick to win the Super Bowl this year is the Rams, and I'm not wavering yet.
Well, you should. It's the Eagles are in that
okay.
conference.
Oh, jeez.
Want to do your takeaways, or you want me to do mine, Kevin?
Sure, I'll do mine.
All right.
One of them we already touched on. Tampa, Fitzpatrick. Stay with him until he cools off. Number 2 goes with your quote in your background there. Bills are so bad, they have players retiring at halftime.
I don't think I've ever heard of that happening.
No one has. I mean,
just ending their career at halftime of a game, being like, "This is just awful."
That's a team player for you. Not to mention, he had like tweets from like 5 years ago saying "never quit." How'd that work out?
Not the Colts.
And then my other takeaway: we are 6 more losses away from me not having to worry about doing shots.
Yep.
Well, 6 more losses away from neither of us. I mean, if they go 8-8, then neither of us.
Hey, I'm closer than you guys are. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you need to do 7 more.
Did you know that the Raiders made history in that game?
They did not.
That was the highest quarterback rating of all time to not win a game. Derek Carr had I think only 1 or 2 incompletions and had a quarterback rating of 99, and the Raiders couldn't win. I don't know really what else to say. They need to get it together on defense.
John Gruden wants more pressure on the quarterback. They have 2 sacks. 2 sacks by the Raiders defense. I think there's a couple other teams that have 3, but none as bad as that. Oh, and then Khalil Mack has 2 sacks with the Bears. So there's that fun fact for you too.
Well, John Gruden making great decisions over there in Oakland.
Can we say now that we've seen Mack on another team that he's probably the best defense player in the league?
Oh, hands down.
Oh yeah.
And the Raiders let it go. They're idiots. They're idiots.
Sometimes, people think I can get probably not the same quality, but I can get somebody productive for much less.
Just got to get someone to fill that
Spend
gap.
money elsewhere.
Sometimes
But now we're seeing that by the Bears adding this, they've now become now they have a chance in almost every game, even with their offense being subpar.
Yeah. The same reasons.
That'll go right into my takeaways of week 2.
I'm into Mac. Talk about it.
Bears D, legit.
Too legit to quit.
They lead the league in sacks so far. 2 games in. I mean, still early, but 10 sacks for the year. Tied for lead with forced fumbles with 5. And they lead the league with 2 interceptions for touchdowns. I mean, we've all seen their offense. Their offense is nothing to write home about.
It's because Trubisky sucks.
I don't know if he sucks.
He sucks.
I don't know if he sucks.
You have Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, and Trey Burton, and you suck.
I don't know if he sucks.
You suck.
It is not getting the job done right now. Okay? I will agree with that part.
Let's see here. 39-40.
I'm sorry, he's even a target, but he sucks.
Anyways, their defense. This is gonna
Wait. Trubisky sucks.
This will be like some of those old Bills teams. The defense is going to keep them in games. They're going to have chances to win. They'll probably go like 6-10, 7-9, something like that. Not going to make playoffs.
Are they better than the Lions?
That's in nobody's takeaways because nobody cares about the Lions.
I'm just saying the Bears might not be in last place this year.
Question for you guys. Is Mahomes this year's Watson of last year?
Meaning what?
Meaning
This shit is on fire.
going to get hyped up. I mean, put up these monster numbers. I'm not saying he's going to get hurt. Obviously, we don't know how Watson would have finished the year, but we all would have expected him to finish as hot as he started. He probably would have put up some, at least for rookie-wise, probably record numbers the way he was playing if he had continued that.
Yeah, there's a chance to beat Cam Newton's historic rookie year. Yeah.
So now, obviously, year 2, Watson has looked a little more human.
Imagine that someone called it.
I called it too. So,
I have the Texans not having a good record, and they are currently 0-2.
anyways, he's also coming off an injury, so I mean, if Mahomes doesn't get injured, it kind of.
Hey, as long as he gets me enough fantasy points to beat some people, I don't care.
I mean, I never would have drafted him number 1 or my first pick overall, but. I mean, the dude's
2-0.
putting up great numbers: 10 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Historic. What?
Averaging almost 300 yards a game. I mean, I have to go on record as saying that I was wrong about him. I was wrong.
2 games in a
Don't
row.
admit that often.
Don't know how good that makes me feel.
I don't admit that often, but I was wrong about it. I did not think. And you know, you get that one game where he looked good, and I was like, it's one game. He'll come back to earth next game. No, he topped that game. It threw 6 touchdowns.
No.
So I have no idea. This dude's going to break all the records probably this year. So I think he's
So the question still remains. Do we want us to answer it, or is it rhetorical?
kind of rhetorical. I mean, you guys are probably just going to say yeah.
I'm going to say no.
You don't think he's going to keep? You don't
No,
think he's going to
because-
sustain it?
I think he's going to sustain it because he's not a running quarterback. Don't think he's going to get hurt.
At like 39 rushing yards.
Yeah, but he really prefers to pass. And he's bigger than Watson. Has more muscle on him. Obviously has the bigger arm. He loves to throw. I think he's real. I didn't know if his accuracy was real. All I heard about was the big arm.
Right.
That's why I was high on him. And the accuracy seemed... Or maybe the accuracy just doesn't matter.
It might not
Because
matter.
his receivers
Right.
are so good.
Right.
But right now it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, Sammy Watkins is pretty damn fast too.
All I've seen is his stats. I haven't actually seen him play yet, so I'm going to kind of not
You want to see week 3?
4 or 5 weeks.
4 or 5?
So I think that's a good
Okay.
feeling.
At 4 or 5, if he has 20 touchdowns, what are we saying?
At 4 or 5, he
At 5, let's say he has 20.
yeah, that's legit. But he's got 10 right now.
I know. So that's on pace for a little over 3, though. Next 3 weeks.
So 3 weeks, he's got to have
3, 3, 4.
yeah, that's legit. We could throw 3 to 4 touchdowns a game. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to have 20, by the way. What's the record? 50?
For all time, like for the whole
In one season?
Is it 60?
Is it 60? It's what,
Stat guy, look it
isn't
up.
it whatever Brady and Randy Moss did?
No, I think Peyton.
Or did Peyton beat it?
I think Peyton beat it.
We just went over that, too, with the quarterbacks, because I had that as a stat.
I think it ended up being like 60, 61, something like that.
I'm going to go with 55.
What am I looking
But
up?
on to my favorite takeaway. As much as Corey,
The dumbest takeaway.
as much as Corey hates this position in football, kickers really do matter in a game.
Only because of how it's
They do matter.
because of how it's constructed.
They do matter.
If you took them out, they would not matter, and they shouldn't matter.
You think that there would be like higher scoring games or whatever? Like,
Yes.
What's to say that there aren't like
You know what the percentages of people completing on fourth down?
probably not as high as you think.
It's almost 60%.
Out of everybody in the league. That's because they don't go for it that often. They only go for it when it's 4th and 1.
It would probably lower your.
The fuck you mean? You can't get 1 yard? I hope you can. Otherwise, you don't belong in the NFL.
It would probably lower if it was understood that everyone was pretty much
exactly.
going to go for 4 downs.
You're telling me you had to go for it on 4th and 40?
Only your team has those situations.
If it was 4th and 40 and you had to go for it, guess what? You're not getting it.
Well, you can punt.
So guess what?
You can punt.
So there's punters.
Yeah, there's just no kickers.
See, you made it seem like you had to go for it no matter what.
No kickers.
That's what you had said. Punters are kickers, buddy.
No, they aren't.
News,
Well, they're two different positions.
Newsflash, punters are kickers.
Newsflash, name a punter that kicks.
I feel a good poll for next week.
All kick? What do you mean?
They don't kick field goals.
Okay, that's different, but they all kick. The fuck do you think they're doing
They
for their
don't put
job?
points on the board?
They might.
No, they don't.
They kick it.
If they punt it straight through the field goal, they would. But they don't ever do that.
If they punted it, that guy returned it, fumbled it. Punter picks it up, takes it back to the end zone. That's who's just scored points. That punter. Probably never happened, but could happen.
I think there's one punter that threw a touchdown pass this week.
I believe that.
For the Titans.
Yeah. Regardless, we had the Browns kicker, who is no longer employed. Missed 2 extra points and 2 field goals, including their game-tying field goal.
I could make extra points. Come on.
You could not. You could not make a
30-yard field goal?
No. You could not.
You want to go try?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Keep drinking, and we'll go out to the field
All right.
later.
I don't have a football, do you?
I'm sure. Somewhere.
And
we're going to videotape it.
the Vikings kicker,
That's what I like to
also
hear.
unemployed. Also unemployed. Missed 2 field goals in overtime.
Vikings always are at odds with their kickers. Blair Walsh infamously shanked a 30.
That was against the Packers too, wasn't it?
It was against the Seahawks in the playoffs.
Oh, maybe it was. Yeah, it was. I think they just brought on Dan Bailey though, so
They did.
who got released by the Cowboys. Like,
That was because of money cap issues.
Was it?
Not because of
Yeah. He was due $3.4 million, so they cut him.
Didn't pay a kicker that much.
fair enough. I mean, that's 2 wins right there. If you just had a legit kicker, I'd pay $4 million for a couple wins
For Cleveland?
Cleveland. Yeah, they would have had. They could have had if they made those 2 extra points and hit the. It's like a 39-yard field goal. That's not that bad. It's a little more than an extra
everyone's
point.
all excited about Cleveland, but let's just be honest. They don't even have a win.
Haven't had a win in 19 games.
Yeah, so just we all need to chill on Cleveland. They don't have a win. Talk to me when they win, which could be this week. But talk to me then.
Are they playing this week?
The Jets
Yeah, they're gonna win.
in Cleveland.
I'm picking them to win.
You're picking. So
I pick them.
I did too.
I haven't done my pick them yet. I should do it though. That's my takeaways. Moving on to the pick'em games.
Moving on to pick them.
Last week, we had a couple stellar performances by myself and Kevin, going 1-3. Yes, we did do 5 games, but unfortunately, 1 game was.
This is we all got it wrong.
I thought it should count as we all got it right. I'd rather be 2-3 than
Well, so you'd rather do 2 shots?
Yeah. Corey cheated somehow and went 4-0. I really think it should be 4-1.
And you're 2-3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Corey thought he pulled off the impossible.
I can't believe no one did it.
I
last
can't.
year.
I really thought that Kevin did it.
Nobody did it last year.
Because Kevin started off like hot.
I almost did it, but I got a damn tie.
Actually,
Who won
Stefan.
4-0-1 last year?
Did you not even start off hot last year? Or was
No,
that, am
I
just,
started
like,
0-5. I said that.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm just delirious. I don't even know.
What about this week's pick'em?
This week's pick'em.
I'm going for the 5 this week.
This week, me and Corey are pretty. Oh, actually, we're not. We're kind of.
We're all different.
Did you change them?
No.
Maybe. Oh, you know it's college football. Never mind. Game 1.
Sweep.
Colts, Eagles, in Philly.
No
1
one
o'clock.
believes in luck.
Fuck luck.
He's looked
He's
good.
Well, I mean, he went 2 for 2 last week.
His team just isn't.
Maybe he's just not.
I think he's very good.
I think Wentz comes back, puts some new energy into the team. Gonna shake off whatever rust he's got.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles in a blowout. 10-point spread.
The only problem with the Eagles is that we're losing people like fucking flies right now. Mike Wallace is out for an extended amount of time.
Corey Clement's your best running back. And
Alshon Jeffrey's still out. Jay Ajayi was hurt last game. I don't know what he's doing this game. He came back at some point. But I do love Corey Clement. Nelson Aguilar. Apparently they are holding a workout for Jordan Matthews to come back, possibly.
What about Ertz? We got him.
Ertz.
Ertz so good.
Dallas Goedert, I feel like wasn't even a factor. Like I don't even know where he was.
I'm a
last
big
game.
fan, and he hasn't even been a factor.
I feel like week 1 he did a little bit, but
Yeah.
this last game I don't even think he was anywhere on the field. I didn't see him.
Levante David all over him.
Clean sweep across the board. We're all picking the Eagles. Game 2, Bengals at Panthers.
Well, this is awkward.
This is real awkward. Not sure how this happened, but
Corey's
apparently
worst
me and
nightmare.
Kevin have bought into the Bengals, and Corey's going to quickly sell them while
I'm
they're
cashing
high.
out while they're hot. I'm cashing out while they're hot.
Corey knows his team like no other.
Apparently
He knows we're not
Dalton.
going to sustain this kind of success. Let me cash out now.
No faith in Dalton.
And all the faith in Newton.
I'm going with the Bengals. I'm not a fan of the Panthers right now. Didn't look impressive against Cowboys. Did not look impressive against Falcons. I think the Falcons. Like,
Doo-doo?
I feel like against their defense is injured right now. Like,
Yeah, no Jones, no Neal.
right, like they should have been able to put up points. They didn't.
Which is why you're a believer in the Saints.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck. Okay. Steelers at the Bucks. Kevin, staying with them. Hometown hero. Why not? You got nothing to lose.
Why
at
not?
this
Well,
point.
I feel like this
You've only got one right the past 2 weeks, so
Yeah.
this could be your one.
is my only road game that I took. I felt like I had to pick one. I feel like the Steelers had the best chance.
we'll
I mean,
see.
if Big Ben plays like he did last week, that's the only reason. I mean, this game could turn into a shootout the way I see it.
And I'm just waiting for the fall off. Like, when does it happen?
Yeah.
Can Fitzpatrick really do this?
The only thing Tampa Bay's got going for them is they usually do well on Monday nights. It's the Thursday night games that usually they get screwed over with.
There's a nice scoop for everybody.
Yeah, nobody does well on Thursday nights.
Tampa last year took the Patriots to a last-second field goal for them to win. I believe the Patriots won by a last-second field goal.
On Monday night or Thursday?
Monday night. So, fingers crossed
What
it
are
doesn't come
you
to that.
trying to say? That you guys were basically Super Bowl contenders?
No, I'm just saying they do well on Monday night.
With Fitzpatrick, he thought so, yeah.
Me and Corey going Steelers. Kevin's going to stick with the Bucks.
I went with all three of our teams.
Yes, you did. You're the only one.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I almost went with it.
Taking,
So now.
I think I'm basically at this point just trying to change my NFL luck here, like with Pick'em. It's like, what the fuck?
Game 4. Saints at Falcons. Another 1 o'clock game. All 1 o'clock games except for that Bucks Steelers game. You guys are going with the hometown Falcons. Matt Ryan did come alive last week. Threw like 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Did he throw any to Julio?
Nope.
Of course not. Julio is the greatest receiver who cannot catch any touchdowns.
Remember, I was like last week. I was like, "Oh, Calvin Ridley, I'm all about him." This week,
Yeah.
ties Julio in yards and gets a touchdown. I'm like, "All right, here we go." After Gary dropped him, let someone go get him.
You guys are going Falcons. I'm going with the Saints.
I honestly think it's a pick'em game. I feel like
I
it's
don't
a
think
draw.
it is. I think the Saints have a way better offense.
Yeah, it looked like it. I'm going with Corey on this and the whole fact
You gonna
that
switch it?
No, I already am with the Falcons.
Well, you can switch while we do the podcast. We talked about this.
I understand that. I'm with the Falcons. What are you thinking I'm switching from?
I think he's agreeing with you that their
Yeah.
offense isn't that good.
Yeah, the Saints.
Saints, yeah.
I mean,
I thought you were about to say the Falcons' offense isn't that good.
It's not.
they almost lost to the Browns. They should have lost. If it wasn't for a field goal kicker.
Browns are improved. I don't know what the fuck you guys are seeing, but Browns are improved. Yeah. Moving on to game number 5. Ravens, Broncos in Baltimore. I almost want to switch.
You just think Baltimore was a product of how bad the Bills are?
I think Broncos are decent.
Case Keenum threw 3 touchdowns, but threw 3 picks for Seattle. A Seattle team you think is
Week 1,
junk.
right?
Yeah.
But then what did he do last week?
I don't know. They won.
Yeah, I know they won. Thought he played well. Could be wrong. I don't know. The Ravens, I mean, Flacco, he's so hit or miss. He looks good. He'll throw like 1 interception, then he throws 2 touchdowns in a row, and then it's like, oh, okay, here comes Flacco. And then he throws another interception, and it's
I
like,
feel
oh,
like the
there he
Ravens
goes
have more
again.
talent. So that's the only reason I went off of. Broncos are not loaded.
I didn't say they were loaded.
No, I just don't think they have enough. They barely beat the Raiders.
Yeah, well, Raiders are a tough team to beat.
According to us. Because we have them at like 10 and 6.
And actually, I think they won right at the end of the game, too.
They did.
Both times.
Garbage.
No touchdowns,
He-
1 interception.
He was garbage.
All right, I'm going to stick with my pick. Never mind.
Stallone.
I'm going with the Ravens. Corey's going with the Ravens.
I've
Kevin,
got 2 shots to catch up a little bit to Corey.
Total standings.
actually.
Do we have that total standings somewhere?
Mm-mm.
I don't want to.
I can add up 2 weeks worth.
It's 2 and 7 versus 5 and 4.
7 and
I'm 5 and 4.
5 and 4. None of us are doing particularly well.
No. Only one
You're
of us
barely over
500.
500.
But I'm over.
I'm doing okay in our actual
I
picking.
know,
It's just the games that we're picking.
And
on
I'm
here.
not. Because my first week went so bad.
And you
Games
guys
we're
can't even
picking
blame
on.
me. I'm not picking the games this year. All right.
Did I pick all the games?
I didn't pick any of them.
Did you pick some of these?
I've only been doing college football.
I liked them. I thought they were all good ones. Because besides our team games, I do think those other 2 games are 50-50 shots.
I did.
Ooh, 640. Ooh. Yeah.
Call our college football expert.
Good evening.
Hello. How are you, Joe?
I'm just wonderful.
Especially after that Syracuse win over Florida State.
That was a great win.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Yeah, that 30-7 win was bullshit, Stefan. Shut up.
Going into the game, I honestly wanted to pick them to win because I thought that they really were going to win. But week 1, I had made such a point of telling you guys they had no chance that I had to stick by it.
How bad is that Florida State team?
Do they have a shot at winning a game in the ACC?
Willie Taggart better hope for a miracle. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of issues. I mean, if you look at the sideline, people arguing, players arguing. I don't know why he's sticking with Francois. I would have put Blackman in, but
That offensive line made Syracuse's defensive line look like gods. I mean, they couldn't stop him. Even when he wasn't getting sacked, he was still getting knocked around.
yeah, and I think what happened was his game planning. I think it was down to coaching. I think, when you go back and you look at the film and you watch the film, they really didn't chip on the defense and on the left side of the line. You know, it was just one-on-one covers, left tackle, got to the end, and no chance there. I just think that's a coaching mistake. You got to adjust, and luckily they, get into it, and I don't think it was luck. I think SU just was the better team that day, by far.
Syracuse apparently riding high on this win and going into this weekend's game against UConn as 27.5-point favorites. Is UConn just that bad, or should we start looking forward to the Clemson rematch here?
No, I think UConn's just really that bad. Randy Edsall is just doing a whole rebuild down there, playing a lot of freshmen. It's just not a good program right now, and I think SU's that bad. And I think this past Saturday we saw a glimpse of our future, not only in Tommy DeVito, but running back Javarian Howard.
I was just looking at Florida State's future opponents, and I mean, they don't have maybe Louisville. They have Northern Illinois this week. They're 10-point favorites in that, but we saw how they looked against Samford, so who knows? I might want to take the under on that game. We had a top 25 poll come out yesterday with no changes really at the top. But LSU's starting to make an impression.
Well, we had Wisconsin fall.
Yeah, well, I forgot about that. I was trying to pull it up at the same time. Wisconsin fell all the way down to 13 after their loss this week, and LSU jumped up 5 to 7.
Stanford.
Yeah, I think that's pretty legit.
Any newcomers on our list, Kevin?
A lot of newcomers also involved. We're starting to get away from each other towards the bottom of the top 25 poll, apparently. Texas A&M, I think the only one where a couple people had them on their list. After that, at 25, we had we had BYU at 24. And then 25, we had Washington State, South Florida, Boston College, and Kentucky. All 3-0 teams. All surprises, really. I mean, Boston College is pretty much we were thinking they were okay, but I wasn't too impressed with their performance against Wake Forest in the first half. Second half, they came alive, won that game. Kentucky winning in Florida for the first time ever 2 weeks ago, now making their debut. I like this. I like how many votes we have in this thing. I like a little disparity.
And I think SU was right on the outside looking in.
And
I think another, good performance on Saturday. They could be maybe knocking on the door depending on what happens. I think BYU got in just because they beat a Wisconsin team, but don't forget they also lost to Cal a couple weeks ago. So
a little too much hype too quick.
Much credit to them. You be the top 10 team, you're going to get recognition.
So wait, you're saying that if Syracuse,
I don't necessarily agree with it, but
you're saying if Syracuse beats UConn this week, that pushes them into the top 25.
I think we're going to be 27, 28 by the unofficial other polls there, if you will.
So Syracuse going to your top 25 if they beat UConn. Obviously, depending on what happens in the top 25. A lot of teams could lose or whatever.
I think they got to keep performing at a high level. I think they got to keep the stats where they are, especially on the defensive side of the ball, especially when you talk about defensive efficiency being at the top 25 there. Our passing defense isn't the greatest as far as yards given up, but third down percentages, we're right there, top 5, top 10 as far as getting off the field on third down. I think we keep playing on a high level on third down. defense, just overall stats on, team-wide, team stats, special teams. I think, they handle business and cover the spread. They're going in my top 25.
Joe, do you think Syracuse is competitive with either Washington State, South Florida, Boston College, or Kentucky on a neutral site?
On a neutral site? Absolutely.
Okay. I just those are our 25s right now, so I wondered if you thought they could compete with them.
I think, we'll find out at the end of the year about Boston College where either team stands. But, just listen to some of the so-called experts, ESPN and their FPI, they got Syracuse winning 5 out of their next 8 games or something like that. So they're
going bowling
for 9-3 season. So pretty much wins. Basically, I think Clemson, Notre Dame, and I don't know the third is, to be honest with you. I would say Boston College. They've given Syracuse projected wins in the rest of their home games. And Wake Forest is about a split. They're saying Syracuse has a 48% chance to beat Wake Forest. I think it's better than that. So, given staying healthy, this team really continuing to gel and playing at a high level. 9-3, 8-4 isn't out of the ballpark. I think those other teams are down, but anything can happen. They could have another. They could lose 5 in a row, like that one team did a few years ago. But I think, giving a look at who our key contributors are week in and week out, minus Dungy, especially on the defensive side. Andre Cisco is tied. Him and 4 other guys lead the nation in interceptions at 3. So, and that kid's just a freshman. I think we're seeing glimpses of that Howard running back, and if he continues to perform, we're going to see him in the game a lot more. So I think fans up here in Syracuse have to be excited. I don't think now we need to win 3 more. 3 more wins isn't on the ballpark. I think bowl game is guaranteed, but let's really go after it and see how many we can win.
On the other side of the coast, what's going on with USC? The 1-2 start now. Not looking too hot in their last game. Is this post-Darnold hangover, or are we just not going to see a good USC team this year?
Your guess is as good as mine, Kevin. You're a West Coast guy. You're up later. You're able to catch all that stuff. There's not much talk about West Coast football over here on the East Coast. But I think, you lose a talented and a leader in Sam Darnold. Takes away a lot from the program, and it could be a little hangover. It could be, just a lot of things just not gelling together yet.
We'll see on Friday. Washington State, I believe, hosts them on ESPN Friday night. Late game for you guys, 7:30 kickoff for me. So
and you didn't pick that game?
I just realized that I'm gonna take one of them off if. I feel like Joe's going to pick Michigan over Nebraska, right, Joe?
Yeah, Kevin.
All right, so I'll change that one.
They lost to Troy. Perhaps they lost to Troy. I want to talk about our number 1 team in the country, Alabama.
Your number 1 team, not my number 1 team.
Yeah, my number.
Should be unanimous number 1 team.
Jesus. And the sad thing is they don't play a game until November. You look at the schedule.
Who are you talking about, Clemson or Alabama?
Alabama. Nobody until November.
You're not worried about Mississippi State?
That's in November.
Oh, all right. There you
go. LSU, Auburn, and Mississippi State all in November.
So what are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to say that.
It's going to be a rough November for the SEC.
Alabama's no joke, and they're that good. Ole Miss gave them a game last year, and they weren't even close to a match. It's just Alabama's that good. Tua's just a phenomenal quarterback. He's my Heisman front runner, or he's up there. stats wise. No, he's putting up good numbers, but he's not playing complete games because they're killing teams.
How do you say his name?
I have no clue.
Oh, damn.
Tua. That's what I'm gonna call him. Call him Tua. I don't even know if that's
The
right.
Hawaiian guy is how we refer to him after your.
Yeah.
Do you think that Alabama could beat the Cardinals or the Bills this year?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You know, everyone always talks about, no college team could beat an NFL team.
They couldn't.
Are you kidding me? It would be
That was
close.
a fun
but,
argument.
You know,
to have.
Buffalo.
But it's
Buffalo's
ridiculous.
horrible.
It's the same argument I had to hear about, I think Ronda Rousey could beat up Floyd Mayweather. No, she cannot. It's,
Right.
it's a grown man versus a girl. You're talking about grown men versus college
Well, maybe
kids.
Holly Holm, because she's actually a boxer at one point.
And how many of those college kids for Alabama end up in the league?
It's-
Buffalo's horrible. Well, Buffalo's horrible. They got players retiring at fucking halftime. Bunch of pussies. Can't play football. Their best player just came out of college, so it'd be like the same thing. So, I would take Alabama with the freaking points because I'm sure everyone would have a NFL team.
Arizona's only
So
scored
bad.
6 points in 2 games. You're telling me that they could put up a day against Alabama?
He's picking Alabama.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. You're telling me they could have a day against Alabama?
Who, Arizona?
They put up 6 points, 3 points a game.
Yeah, probably not.
Not even 3 points a
Probably
game.
not.
6 points one game.
I'm telling you.
0 points.
I'm
They
telling
might
you,
get- they might
yes.
get 10.
They would
They might
blow
get 10.
Alabama
They might
out.
get lucky. They might get lucky.
What about Kentucky?
He said they might get
He
lucky.
said they might get lucky.
Nothing
Those
about
are
that.
two really bad. Those are two really bad football teams in the NFL.
All right. Well, we covered the Syracuse game. Washington beat Utah 21-7. We all picked that. And then Oklahoma State over Boise State. Corey was in the red on that one. Ohio State.
Did I go undefeated last week?
You did. You went 5-0. You are now 12-3 in first place. Corey and I are tied at 9-6 after I went 4-1. Stupid Auburn. And Stefan bringing up the rear at 6-4.
All about the rear.
Did I do my math right? I don't think I did the math right there.
You could
I
have done
added
the
them
math,
all
right?
up, so I did the math right.
You're missing one of the series.
Huh?
There we go.
What do you mean I'm missing what?
You forgot week 1. Or one of the weeks. You went 2 and 3 twice. So 4 and 6. 8
Same difference.
and 10. There we go.
Oh, you're 7-7.
Still not right. I can't do math on the fly here.
7-7.
There you go.
No,
It's got to be 15.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 8 and 7.
There you go. Still above 500. There we go. A little more respectable. All right. Going into week
give me some
4,
credit here.
we have USC, Washington State. No one's actually picked this one ahead of time. Who we taking? Corey, you're up first.
USC.
USC?
You? Yeah.
I will take Washington State. I haven't been impressed with USC. Stefan.
Is this game in Washington or is this game in Washington or Cali?
It's in Cali.
It's in Cali.
It's Friday night.
USC.
And Stefan going Washington State. All right. Another Pac-12 games set for Saturday
As
night.
much as we all apparently hate the West Coast, except for me, West Coast football anyway, we do pick a lot of their games.
There's not a lot of games in the other conferences until later
Kevin
in the
picks
year.
the games.
Well,
Yeah, Kevin's all about the West
I
Coast.
tried to be not biased this week, jeez.
But he is not a fan of any of the West Coast teams.
Yeah, that's
Arizona
the thing.
State.
Well, except for Arizona State.
Yeah, that's only because I'm going
Like,
to school
he's
there.
never high on Stanford, never high on USC. Always high on Washington, though, for some reason.
Oregon,
Hopkins said
Stanford.
basketball.
Corey and Stefan are going Stanford. Joe, who are you going with?
Stanford.
Quack, quack.
Wow.
Another West Coast team.
Quack.
Okay, Lee Corso. You missed it, Joe. He just put on a fucking Ducks hat.
I heard that.
All right. Washington, Arizona State, Saturday night. This was looking good until Arizona State lost. Still have faith in my Sun Devils. Forks up.
Where's your Arizona State hat at? Stop it out.
Yeah, man.
I got to go into the hallway to get that. I had that one at the ready. Who are you going with, Joe?
Washington.
Washington it is. Little curveball since this week's a little quiet. I thought about doing Syracuse UConn, but seeing the odds, I went against that one and chose Rutgers
That's
Buffalo.
not going to be a game. UConn is god awful.
Buffalo.
That's gonna be a clean sweep.
Clean sweep.
And then to wrap it up, Iowa, Wisconsin, Fox, Saturday night.
Wisconsin will redeem themselves.
Ooh, you're going with Stefan. Corey,
There we
going
go.
with Iowa.
Here we go. I always like when a football expert agrees with me.
The guy that goes 5-0 agrees with you.
Joe, you still have a chance to change your pick.
Nope, I'm good.
The Stefan curse. You don't believe in the Stefan curse?
No.
All right. Well, unless you got anything else for us, Joe, I'm going to let you go.
Sounds good, gentlemen.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Right. You too.
Take care, Joe.
Yep. Bye.
Hard exit. All right. Who we got next?
We're not in NASCAR.
No soundbite? Okay.
I
We
like
had the
Stefan's better.
first race of the chase.
First.
Keselowski ending the season with 2 wins, comes right into the chase. Bam!
Who would have thunk?
Win.
This
That
guy
guarantees
right here.
him into the next round.
This guy would have thunk.
Every 3 races somebody is cut. So Keselowski, a few players are actually cut, but Keselowski moves on to the next round no matter what. He could crash the next 2 races. It does not matter.
Maybe I should have to rethink my strategy right now. I didn't know about this whole cutting business.
Yes, people are cut every 3 races. That's how you dwindle down to the final
How many
3.
people? One person?
There is 16 in the chase, so 4, 4, 4.
All right. Whew. All right.
The bottom 4 will be cut. Obviously, Harvick crashing doesn't bode well for him. That's why that's actually a good pick, Kevin.
Yeah, that's why
because he wants to come out on fire.
I saw an article saying he was cursing Goodyear.
A win would guarantee him to the next. If he has another bad outing, you can guarantee Harvick's cut.
Do we
So that's
get to pick again, or is it just once?
we're just doing once.
Okay.
Yeah, once for this case.
So it's kind of like pick drivers that you think either could be cut or just pick who you think's going to win, because really it's only 10 races.
Yeah.
And there's, in my
at the end of the day, they're all still racing. Too.
They're all
So
still
they're
racing.
their points still count.
They're all still racing. The only thing I've noticed if there is like overlaps, you know, like let's say Keselowski is winning the race and he is about to lap everybody. Back when it's not the chase, like let's say Austin Dillon is about to be lapped and he's ahead of Keselowski, he would race hard to try not to be lapped. But now in the chase,
they don't.
he would allow him to just go ahead. I'm not going to ruin you.
Gentleman's agreement.
Gentlemen's. Just go ahead. Yeah. So that's the only
tip
difference.
of the cap.
You had Eric Jones and Harvick racing hard past race, and they hit each other and they crashed each other out. That's what happened for Harvick. Keselowski was able to stay ahead of all that jazz, and same with Kyle Busch. He kind of stayed behind that, so it worked out for him. You can't pick the same driver.
I'm going with Harvick because he was cursing Joe Goodyear this past week, saying his tires are shit. I'm not directly quoting, but I'm pretty sure that's what he would have said. And I feel like he's going to be motivated. He performed well in Richmond last time. I think it was 4th place finish, so I have high hopes.
For Harvick?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be all right there. Hamlin is actually very, very good at Richmond. He's a good short track driver, so I understand that one.
He's got like
Kyle Busch
the last 5 races has been top 5.
Yeah, and Kyle Busch is the best driver in history at Richmond, so when you guys left him out there, I took him.
Well, to be fair.
Yeah, you can say. Yeah.
No choice. No choice.
Actually, I thought someone was going to take Kurt because the Busch brothers seem to be very good at short tracks.
I'll save him for a later short track.
I think Kurt might get cut, honestly. I'm kind of saving him for maybe Charlotte if I win this race.
Yeah. Now I know you're in. Now I'm inside your head.
Looking at the standings, I went in with no bonus points. Now I have 50 total points. Corey's got 60 with his 50 bonus points, and Stefan's at 135 with his 100. The comeback
pretty.
is on.
Still 75 behind.
Sitting pretty.
Comeback.
Where I want to be.
Don't
Just
call it a comeback.
Extending my lead. Slowly but surely.
Well, you didn't extend it. You actually lost.
I extended it on Corey. That's the only one I really care about. You're not going to do anything. Shut up.
Watch Harvick win Richmond. Put us in trouble.
Hamlin crashes lap 2. I'm hot.
I like this NASCAR fantasy. It's actually fun.
It is fun.
It's easy. You just pick a damn driver and let it go. Let it ride.
Still don't watch any of the races, but I get excited about it every week. Moving on to your guys' favorite segment.
It's not even my favorite segment anymore.
And the segment I get to tune out of.
It's not mine either anymore. Or yours. Brett's gone.
Yeah, I know. Fuck Big Brother.
Brett's gone. I'm sick of this stupid alliance.
The alliance, Kevin, since you've been watching, most dominant alliance ever?
Ever.
Never seen something like level 6.
This is the first turn against someone was this past weekend in the double eviction with
I mean,
Brett.
they had to start turning at some point. I mean,
but there's
pretty
still
much all
two.
of them, isn't it?
But I love the comments.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Tyler's comment was, "Sorry, Brett, I got to put you up here. You're the best player in the house left." And Brett goes, "Well, obviously not, because I'm sitting on the
And then Brett's plea before the vote was, "Don't make me go stay in a house with Blockstar."
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss him. It's gonna be interesting to hear the stories.
At this point, our fantasy thing is over. Samantha won.
She still has 3
She still has 3 people left.
It's not even a fantasy thing.
It's not even close.
No.
She's dominating season 1.
This did not work out how I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be close between at least 2 of us.
Yeah.
Corey's done with 36.
I never want to do this fantasy.
No
again.
partaking?
No.
You still have JC. He could win.
Yeah. But I lost week 1, week 2, and week 5. So
because you did not draft appropriately.
I drafted JC, right? The thing is that after I drafted JC, I didn't even want him because I didn't realize he was a little person.
We told you that African American women do not tend to do well in this show. And she was your second best player.
Mm-hmm.
Which is sad.
The show's racist.
And you drafted the oldest player. He always gets kicked out the first week usually. I think we've had like 2
have good strategy going on.
You know, it's what happens when you don't ever watch the show.
Facts. All facts.
Thought I could go into like I go into most things. Half-ass. No research. Didn't work out.
It's realer than that. It's real.
Still more real than that. Noticed.
So anyways, Kevin, Angela HOH, she put up JC and Sam, right?
Yep. Correct.
Hopefully Sam goes home. That's where I'm feeling.
God, she is such a psychopath.
Yeah.
What was it? She was on the block 2 weeks against Haley, and in her interview, she was going, "I'm being told I should feel safe, but if I get evicted, I will tear these, and they bleeped obviously because
Yeah,
this is TV, but it was like,
actually heard that.
I will rip these fucking doors off these motherfucking hinges and burn the bitch down. I believe.
Yeah, she's crazy. Zinkbach got it right.
Yeah. I'm scared for the house guests. Like, I wouldn't be able to sleep in that house with the way she acts sometimes.
I feel like the only reason they keep her around is because she does all the house chores.
And she doesn't win. The only HOH she won,
everything.
she made a deal with Tyler. That's the only HOH she won. So
Yeah.
And then you got JC, who I don't even know how he's still in the game.
JC's probably going to go home because JC figured Tyler out.
Yep.
And knows that Tyler's pumping up everyone full of shit, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyler is going to try his best to convince Angela to send JC out because JC has just become the only threat to Tyler.
What if JC exposes him?
JC's going to try, I think.
At that point.
The thing that hurts Tyler, which I know, Kevin, I think you and I both agree that Derek is one of the best players ever.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that hurts Tyler is Tyler made like final 2 deals with everybody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually you're going to have to cut people and they're going to hold a grudge.
Yeah.
Derek made friends with everybody, but made sure to not promise anybody anything. And that is the key to not send pissed off people to the jury house. Another thing, a tidbit I picked up just watching a Extra Hours interview with Derek, is he said every single goodbye speech, he always made sure to say something positive.
About that.
Really smart move.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because then it doesn't give someone a negative outlook on you. I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
It just shows how much he was thinking that whole season, which he probably, even though I know we picked Paul in our bracket, he probably really is the greatest player ever. We only just got to see him for 1 season.
Yeah.
I would love to see him for another season. He's amazing.
One thing I will say, Tyler is at one point leaning towards bringing Casey. I think if Casey's in the final 2, she wins no matter who else is up there right now.
I agree. Samantha and I were talking about that. I think if he brings Casey, that's a huge mistake. People hate Angela. They hate her like she's better than everybody attitude. I would take her.
Yeah.
Yep. I think if Tyler brings Angela, that's the only way he's going to win.
I agree. If he brings Casey, everyone loves Casey, and she really has no blood on her hands.
Yep.
The people she has kicked out aren't mad at her.
Yeah, the people she kicked out, they tried to get her out.
Yeah. So she's sitting pretty. She could be Big Brother champ, honestly, because she seems to all of a sudden be winning comps.
She won like 3 vetoes in a row.
Yeah, she all of a sudden just can win comps. So.
All I'm going to say is she's on my team. I feel like I should get a bonus thumb.
Nah, fuck your team. Moving on to...
Bracket Boys are back.
Bracket
We
Boys.
need our own intro for the
Yeah,
Bracket
where's
Boys.
the Bracket Boys intro?
We didn't have a good
I
recording.
need to
Do you want to hear the intro?
I'm gonna record a jingle. Bracket Boys. Bracket Boys jingle.
We tried that.
Did we?
Yeah. Don't you remember? Hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, I'm gonna record a better one. It's probably gonna be a solo album.
Oh, all right.
Maybe just a single disc.
Might even just be like a diss. Like
Bracket
A
Boys.
disc.
Yeah.
On 3. 3.
Oh, we're really doing
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Bracket
Bracket
Boys.
Boys.
All right, we'll work on it.
Yeah, we can improve on that. We haven't. That was probably the last time we did a bracket, and
You mean the Bracket Boys aren't quite the Backstreet Boys?
we're probably the next best thing, but very far from.
So we're just ahead of NSYNC,
Yeah,
but just behind.
we're just ahead of NSYNC, but just behind everybody else. Another great bracket.
I'm excited about this bracket. Let's go.
It's gonna be an interesting one.
That's not the bracket.
I know it's not.
Oh.
I don't want you.
I
to
haven't
see it.
even seen the seedings
Yeah,
yet,
let's see
Kevin.
the seedings
Have you?
yet.
I just saw the first matchup.
So, we're doing top NFL helmets, opinion-wise.
That's not it.
We're going to have two sides of the bracket, as most brackets usually are.
Yep.
1 through 16 on each side. We ranked these teams on our own, actually.
Yes, we did.
And came up with these seedings.
And I gave a very short background blurbs for each helmet. When it was designed and a little info on it, if there is any.
Can't wait to hear them. All of them.
All 32?
All 32.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna be
It took me a long time, so you should be excited.
2.5 hours is our longest podcast, just a heads up.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. So, on the, we'll call this the west side, because it's on the left side. And it's the best side, 'cause it's got the Eagles.
Oh, I should have known.
Or number 1 seed. Number 1 overall seed, actually. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Who arguably before this season had the worst helmet.
Yeah, you didn't like the half gold, half black. Right?
No. I did like the matte black. I'm not a big fan of the shininess to it that they have this year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll be talking about that.
They are going against your worst seed and the number 16 seed, New York Giants.
I think that's simply because it's boring.
Yeah. It's
red,
boring
white, and
as
blue.
fuck.
I don't like the old school logo. Get rid of it.
All right. All I got about the Jags, real quick. This helmet was designed in 2018, as Kevin just pointed out. They just changed it.
Love it already.
All black gloss helmet with the Jaguar on either side.
I'm a fan of the matte. I would have liked to see the matte finish.
Yeah. And then the Giants. It's a little bit dated. Designed in 1961. Navy blue helmet, NY, and the white block lettering on either side.
So they're due for an upgrade.
Also,
They actually downgraded.
One of two helmets that includes the numbers of the jersey on the front and back of the helmet. A little unique.
Impressive.
Gives it a little character. Is it enough to beat the Jets?
Does anybody have an argument against Jacksonville Jaguars?
We all get one series, right?
Mm-hmm. Per side.
Okay, I'm going to not use it this time.
We'll stick with this side. We'll go down to your number 2 seed.
Jags are moving.
Yeah, I got it. It's good. Number 2 seed on the west side. Your Baltimore Ravens versus the New York Jets. Wow, New York team's not faring well early on.
Wait, what? What are we doing?
He's moving straight down to
I went straight down to number 2 seed.
On that same side.
Same side.
On this, you have Raiders Steelers. Oh, the 2 seed. Sorry.
Yep. Here you go. Numbers are hard. I know.
No, I'm trying to do it, and I thought we were going straight down, so I had the helmets ready, but now I don't.
Do you want me to go down? I can go down. We can stick with the way.
Raiders.
Whatever you
Steelers?
had it is. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
The 8-9 seed matchup: Raiders versus Steelers. Raiders with the 8 seed, Steelers with the 9 seed. Neither, in my opinion, is very impressive.
Boring
Steelers,
and old.
I mean, give us your deets.
I can't hear Kevin. Kevin,
You don't want to
say
hear
something.
Hi, how are you?
All right, I can hear you now. All right. The Raiders, since they're the higher seed, they were designed in 1963, so a little bit dated.
Looks it too.
A black and silver helmet with Raiders on a shield and a Raiders written on the shield with a Raider with an eye patch.
Yarr.
Pretty straightforward. The Steelers, not so straightforward. A little more history. Designed in 1963, also dated, but Steelers is written on one side of the helmet only, with the yellow, blue, and red asteroids, they call them, right there. That's what they're calling them. The yellow stands for coal. the blue stands for iron, and the red stands for iron, the blue stands for scrap metal. That is the things that composite steel. So I kind of like that. It actually does have some meaning. Only team with the logo on one side makes their helmet unique. Also, them and the Giants, the only team with numbers on the front and the back of the helmet. That's what I got for the Steelers and the Raiders.
I'll make my pick first. I'm going Raiders.
I'm going Steelers. I like the history.
Two
I like
helmets
that
I don't like.
It's unique.
Oh.
Like I didn't know that the yellow, red, and blue actually meant something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. That's kind of cool. But I just like the Raider more.
Before it actually meant it had a whole statement about stealing business and everything, but they changed to the asteroids. Anyways, I only went with the current helmet.
I will go with the Steelers.
Steelers, moving on.
I like the fact that the logo is on one side.
So do I. It makes it different.
Going down to your 4 versus 13 matchup. Intriguing matchup. Rematch of the Super Bowl. Eagles as a 4 seed versus the Patriots.
This is the matchup you were excited about.
Originally, I put these matchups together wrong, and I had to correct myself. But originally, the Eagles I had going as Cowboys, which I thought was, oh, that's cool. You know, Eagles-Cowboys rivalry. And then I had to switch it, and I realized that they're going against Patriots, so they just beat in the Super Bowl.
This is another rivalry.
So another cool. You know, it works out either way. So your
Eagles. This particular helmet was designed in 1996. It is called a midnight green with white and silver wings on either side. That's all I have. The Patriots was designed in 1993. The logo of a gray-faced Minuteman appears on both sides of the helmet. The blue hat was darkened in 2000, so that's the more recent update. And the logo has been called the Flying Elvis because they think it looks like Elvis Presley in his heyday. But I have not really picked up on that.
Nah, doesn't look like it to me.
So that's my info.
My only argument is that I wish the Eagles were Kelly Green still.
Yeah, I like the Kelly Green.
I would much prefer the Kelly Green. I'm not a fan of the midnight green.
I can only do the info on what we have.
But my other argument is that I like the Patriots, the guy, the full
Minuteman.
Yeah.
There was a whole thing on that
Yep.
too.
I was more of a fan of that. I'm more of an old school guy. I feel like I like the older jersey style, like the older helmet styles. A lot of them. Usually, when they upgrade them, they kind of become less detailed. I feel like sometimes they go kind of more basic.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with my hometown favorite.
Your hometown.
What do you got, Kevin?
Now, bias aside, I'm going off of what one team is lacking. You're going to call yourself the Patriots and have silver as your helmet color? This should be good old red, white, and blue. America, Eagles, moving on.
Unless you want to argue that.
No, I don't have to say anything.
You got a Syria? 5 versus 12. Can we get the 12-5 upset, please?
What do you got?
Vikings as your 5 seed. Chiefs as your 12 seed. Corey, give us the info.
Vikings, this particular helmet, designed in 2006. Somewhat newer.
The
only thing that was updated on it, though, compared to the original when the Vikings first came into the league, is the horns actually like swoop and at the tip. Anyways, the Chiefs, the same design that they had in 1960, haven't switched their helmet.
Good old arrowhead.
A red helmet with the white arrowhead with the KC inside. Pretty straight up. Go ahead.
I'm going with the 12-5 upset. I'm going to go with Chiefs. I'm not a fan of just the horns.
You're a fan of just an
That's
arrowhead?
extremely interesting, but I'll get to that on my thing.
Why? Because I'm a fan of just the eagle
Yes.
wings?
Yes.
Eagle wings are better than just horns. Plain and simple. Not even going to get into that argument.
If you saw my rankings, you will see that I am a fan of a particular design. So I'll go right into mine. I like when the helmet is designed to be the mascot that you're named after, like the eagle wings, to make it look like, yeah, you're the eagle with the wings on the side, or a Viking that would wear the helmet with the horns. I am a fan of the Vikings.
You, Kevin.
Well, I kind of gave a little spoiler with the Jaguars. I'm a fan of the matte helmet. I don't know why. They switched over from the shininess from the Chris Carter and all their Randy Moss era, and they went with this flat white, or not flat white, sorry, flat purple color, and I'm a fan of it, and I like it. It's my choice.
Is this really your Siri?
So we get a Siri per side?
Yep.
What it is?
Mm-hmm.
You can't use it in the
You can't use it in the semis.
Semis, yeah.
I'll see.
That big a fan of the Chiefs?
Or
I'm
just
going to
that,
lose my Eagles at some point anyway. So
or
I'm not
just
worried.
that much of a hatred towards the color purple. Jeez.
Yeah. Didn't like the movie. Don't like the color. Actually, I never really watched the movie, so I can't say I hated it.
All right. Hey Siri, heads or tails?
It's heads this time.
Vikings move on.
Sorry.
We got your
Upper
6
seed
versus
moves
11
on.
matchup
Those new.
with the Falcons as the 6th seed.
We seem to like the birds I caught. Too, by the way.
49ers.
Look at all
There's
the-
so many birds.
If you look at all the birds, they're all the high seeds, though.
Yeah, I guess so. 49ers as your 11 seed. There's got to be one low bird, right?
I don't think there's a low bird. There isn't. We like the birds.
Bird is the word.
Bird is the word. Let's hear it.
The
Falcons 49ers.
All right, Falcons. Designed in 1990. Pretty straightforward. Black helmet with a falcon outlined in red. Nothing difficult. 49ers, same thing. This particular design was designed in 1995 because they switched from what Kevin likes, the flat gold, to the metallic gold with a red stripe and the 49ers written across the side. Go ahead. You've been starting.
I'm going with the 11-6 upset. I'm going 49ers. Not a big fan of the Falcons. Just in general. Helmet, team, quarterback,
Everything about them.
wide receiver, running back, linebackers,
All right, Kevin, what do you think?
owner.
Boner.
This kid hates Arthur Blank.
Hate him.
Well, unfortunately for you, I like the new look Falcon logo more than the boring old 49ers logo, so I'm going Falcons.
It's new since 1995.
I like the Falcons as well, Kevin.
That's right. That's like terrible football.
I don't like when teams just put their name across the side.
Our
How
3
unique is
versus
that?
14, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Indianapolis Colts. I don't even know if this is really an argument.
The Bengals, designed
Go
in
ahead.
1981. It is a helmet featuring tiger stripes instead of just an orange helmet that had plain old black Bengals lettering across the
I'd
side.
rather have that.
Anyways, the Colts, very old, designed in 1957. The horseshoes in 1957 were moved to either side of the helmet. Previously, they had it on the back of the helmet only.
Sounds awful. I'm a big fan of Bengal Tigers. I actually was a big, I won't say big, I was a fan of the Bengals at one point because of their
unis.
basically. So Colts, it's basic white and blue. I'm not a fan.
Me
Well,
either.
Bengals.
I'm going Bengals. Was that a unanimous anyways, Kevin?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
You were gonna go Colts.
Yeah, I like the Colts. I like the plainness. I don't know, something about the white and blue that just stands out to me.
Do you want Assyria?
No, I don't like it that much.
Yeah. No. And matchup on the west side. Cardinals, finally good at something.
Debatable.
Decent, better than average helmet, apparently. And
nice.
your Redskins at number 10.
Cardinals, their new helmet designed in 2005. White helmet with the red cardinal head on either side. Pretty straightforward. Before that, the coloring was a little different. We don't need to know that. We're talking about this.
Basically the same thing, just change the color.
Yes. Designed for the Redskins in 1978, a little bit older. The burgundy and yellow, famous. With a yellow face mask, that was the big change in 78. It was always gray prior to that. And then the Native American symbol on either side. A lot of controversy. Their name and their logo. So where you at?
I actually wrote a paper about mascots in sports. And
Congratulations.
thank you. I think I got a phenomenal grade on it. So
A B?
I'm a great storyteller. It's a tough situation. It's tough to, should they change their mascot? One side of the argument is, stick with tradition. And they've been what they've been for years.
Their higher-ups claim they've spoke with Indian nations.
They haven't. They're full of shit.
That have said that it's okay.
There's no Indian nation that would ever be okay with that unless they're getting paid.
I forgot Stefan was in on the
Yeah, I was. Unless they're getting a cut of some sort of payment. That's the only way they're going to be okay with it. To move past that, to move past the controversy, I just like the Redskins design better. Not a big fan of the Cardinal. So, I'm going with the Redskins.
I'm going to make this interesting. I'm going with the Cardinals. I just like the logo on the side over the Redskins. I think the Redskins a little too old for me. Let's find something else for a logo other than some Indian.
I'm not so much a fan of of either one of these logos.
It's a tough
but
7-10. I'll give you that.
But I prefer the burgundy and yellow color scheme. So I like the Redskins.
Siri!
Siri in it.
There it is.
There you go. I don't know. Might as well.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be ethical here.
Hey Siri, heads or tails?
It's heads this time.
Damn.
Moving on.
She's liking
That's
heads.
fucked up.
Or is
2
it
verse 15.
Or is it the politically correct thing to do?
That probably is.
Just the birds are going to win every one.
No bird is lost yet, have they?
No.
Nope. Then I
Let's
don't
see
see
if
it
we get
turning
the
around.
first set. Your Ravens versus the Jets. Corey, tell us about it.
Our Ravens were designed in 1999, the year they were brought into the league.
Well, brought back into the league.
Brought back. And it's
Or
just
no, they were brought into the league.
it's just a
They
Raven.
took over the Browns, that's right.
But Baltimore used to have a team, the Baltimore Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's just a Raven head with the letter superimposed in the background, the B for Baltimore. They have actually an alternate logo, which is a shield. I'm sure you're familiar with it. But that isn't what's shown on their helmets primarily. They do have a helmet with that logo. They don't use that. What do we have? The Jets. Our favorite. Designed in 1978. The Jets is seen on both sides of the helmet with a jet silhouette that is attached to the J and flying over ETS.
Are you
Apparently none of us really liked it.
Nah.
Too basic. Color scheme, basic.
Green. We
They
like
have-
Design basic.
My issue with the Jets helmet is that there is New York on there, and they play New Jersey.
So Ravens.
Ravens.
I like the black and purple. It's more menacing.
Would you like to move on to the other side, Kevin?
Yeah, sure.
No, he wants to know who the other side's playing.
Or do you want to stay here?
No, I'm good. I prepared.
Move over.
I just can't wait till I don't have to worry about the next two matchups while you guys are talking. Typing feverishly over
The 1 seed on the east side of our bracket.
Put them on the wrong side, apparently.
Yeah, well, happens. Chargers. Los Angeles Chargers, to be correct. And your Cleveland Browns as a 16.
The Chargers, even though they are Los Angeles, they still chose not to touch the design. It's been designed since 1960. The white helmet with the lightning bolt across it on either side. The only thing that has changed, which I did not write here, in 2001, they changed their color scheme. It used to be a dark blue and yellow, and now it is the powder blue and yellow.
It would have been a different vote, I think, if they had stuck with the dark blue.
Okay.
At least for me.
The Browns, this
Solid helmet.
This helmet was redesigned.
This was redesigned. That's a sad
This
part.
helmet was redesigned in 1999. It used to just be all orange. Now it is all orange with a brown and white stripe, which was a throwback to their helmet of the 60s. The original was all orange. So we decided, in 1999, we should go back to the 60s when Jim Brown used to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Now they're trying to win Super Bowls.
Now they're trying to win.
I'm gonna go with an actual helmet. The Chargers. Would you just put a color on your helmet and nothing else? I'm not a fan. I'm gonna assume I don't have any arguments there.
No.
I think this was our highest rated team.
I think they were tied, I believe, with
They
the
were,
Jaguars.
All right.
8-9 matchup. The Denver Broncos as your 8 seed versus the also Los Angeles, but the Rams.
The Broncos and the Rams?
Broncos-Rams.
Okay, Broncos, designed in 1968. The blue helmet with the letter B and a horse coming out of it on either side. We all know they're blue and orange. I don't really have to say that. The Rams, this particular helmet was designed in 2017. The metallic blue helmet, they're calling it, with white ram horns. The major rebrand is coming in 2020 when they get their new stadium. So expect changes.
Hopefully going back to blue and yellow.
I don't understand why they went from gold to white. Why not just go with the yellow?
Yep. The white was an awful choice, and that is why I will vote for the Broncos.
I'm going for the Rams.
I too am a Broncos.
I will Siri the shit out of it.
This was your number one team, correct?
Exactly. I have to Siri.
You gotta have to.
All right. Hey Siri, heads or tails?
It's heads this time.
Stop with the heads. Jeez.
Can't win. I thought for sure it was my time.
Sorry.
My number one seed out.
Good. Glad that ugly.
Number 4 versus number 13. Dolphins. Cowboys.
Dolphins, this particular helmet was designed in 2013. The navy blue is more prominent on the stripe than it was before. And the dolphin is now, instead of arched and looking down, it is arched to look upwards, which was thought by the team to inspire positivity amongst their fan base. Things are always looking on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys,
Someone has to.
designed in 1960. They don't like to steer from tradition. Silver helmet, navy blue star.
Boring.
That's it.
Great thing is there's no Cowboy fans on this show, so Dolphins it is.
Dolphins. I actually really like their helmet.
You didn't
I
give
like
me a
that.
chance to look up the other helmet. Jeez.
No, we don't need to look at it.
I like that green, whatever you want to call it, color that they have.
turquoise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck the Cowboys.
Wow.
Not a fan. Nobody is. 5 versus 12. Maybe we'll get the 5-12 upset. Maybe we won't. Seahawks. Kevin's hometown. Versus the New Orleans Saints.
Well, tradition has been the bird so far.
Bird is the word.
Seahawks.
Fuck shit up.
This particular helmet designed in 2002. If it was the old helmet, I don't think it would have this high of a rating. It is a navy blue helmet with silver and lime green stripe. I think we all like the lime green.
It doesn't have a stripe on it.
Also, what?
There's no lime green stripe on it.
That's what it has written.
Well, if you look it up.
Anyways, moving on. They changed the Seahawk to a more menacing silver and green Seahawk head than what it was prior. The Saints haven't changed their logo from what I read. Designed in 1967, black and gold with the fleur-de-lis on either side.
I like how you said that. Oof, good pronoun.
What?
I like how you said that.
The colors, black and gold, are actually to represent oil, which people may not know. Oil is a big product out of Louisiana.
Fair enough. I like the lime green, if that's part of the helmet. If it's not,
I know if he's saying the line isn't there, the Seahawk is outlined with lime green. Or has lime green on his eye, or there is
his
something
eye.
on it.
That's the only thing that's got lime green on it.
His eye.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna go with the lime green. Seahawks. Not a big fan. I think the Saints is kind of basic.
I don't like the gold. I think it's gaudy. I like it when they wear their all black uniforms.
I can't series, so Seahawks moving on. I wouldn't anyways.
Well, he could series this side if he wanted to.
He could, but he likes the Seahawks.
No, he said he likes the Saints.
No, I said I don't like the gold. I think it's
Oh,
gaudy.
I thought you said you liked the gold.
No, shut up.
Holy fuck. All right, I'm out. See ya. 6 versus 11. Lions, Titans. These are a great football team, but let's talk about
This
their
could be
helmets.
our oldest helmet. It was designed in 1934,
Beautiful.
and they haven't wavered.
I like the Lions redesign though.
The redesign is the Honolulu blue with the silver stripe and a lion logo on either side. The Titans, Kevin's favorite, were designed in 2018. He knows this.
Ugly.
Navy blue sword stripe down the middle with their logo still on either side of the white helmet.
I was a proponent of the Titans. I think I ranked them a little higher in mine. But Kevin's lack of ranking brought them way down.
Yes. I put them in the middle. So.
But at the end of the day, we're a fan of Lions. I'm go with Lions.
I don't like the gray face mask on the blue. I miss the old white. And that's why I'm going with Detroit.
Detroit it is.
Oh, serious.
Can't.
You're a diehard. Number 3 versus 14. The Panthers versus the Packers. Battle of the Peas.
If you really want to piss them off,
Panthers.
let's get rid of the
This
Panthers.
particular helmet was designed in 2012. Carolina blue, Black Panther head. Easy enough.
Easy.
The only thing they changed has been the Panther head. That's why it says 2012. They've updated it a little bit.
Made it a little bigger.
The Packers
Packers have a lot of change.
have not done much. The Packers, I'm
Old
struggling
Faithful.
to
Right there.
find. The Packers, designed in 1961. Before they were brown, pure brown helmet.
Brown. the
In
leather helmet, you mean?
Out of the brown.
In 1961, they decided to change to yellow and green with a G logo on either side.
They really thought outside the box on that one.
They really wanted to get pretty fancy.
I'm going to go with the more detailed and intricate design, and I will go with the Panthers.
I too will go with the Panthers. Shout out to the Big Cats killing
Let's
it. too.
go.
The Big Cats
Yeah.
and the Birds. They're running
Cats
it.
versus
Cats and
birds.
birds all day.
Yeah, Packers logo, boring. Get it out of here.
Get out of here.
They even sued Georgia for saying they tried to steal their logo.
You might have the greatest quarterback, but you don't have the greatest logo.
You don't even have the greatest uni. It's kind of ugly.
Agree. 7 versus 10. Bills. Finally. Better at some. Bills and Cardinals coming alive in their logos at least.
At least they're flashy on the field.
Yeah.
You gotta
Bills
look
versus
good
who?
if you're gonna suck. So
Bills Texans. Bills the 7 seed. This particular helmet was designed in 2011. It has a charging buffalo on a white helmet,
as
which was
opposed to the
introduced
sitting
as a
buffalo.
change from the navy blue. The navy blue that they were using has been changed to a royal blue, is what they're calling it. The Texans haven't changed. They were designed in 2000 when the team came into the league. Navy blue helmet, bull logo on either side. The bull logo has the star for an eye. The star is the Texas flag symbol.
I think the Texans is kind of boring in my opinion. I do kind of wish the Bills would go back to the
Jim Kelly era.
red.
Oh, the red buffalo.
The red helmet.
Red buffalo there. Not the red helmet, but the red logo.
Okay.
But I
The
think that
O.J.
they
Simpson
have a
era.
more intricate and aesthetically pleasing to the eye design of the Texans, in my opinion.
My opinion, they're both kind of boring logos, so I prefer the Texans coloring, even though both are very similar.
Yeah.
White, blue, and red.
White,
very
blue, red.
similar. The blue of the Texans, I wish the Bills stuck with that navy blue. I don't like the royal blue, and the Texans have that navy. That's the only thing that separates it from me. So I went with the Texans.
I miss the red helmets of Jim Kelly era. I like those better than these current ones.
Yeah.
However, my problem with the Texans helmet is the logo does not exactly flip well to the other side. So one of the sides looks a little off than the other one, and that's why I'm going to go with the Bills.
Very well done.
I don't know why that bugs me so much, but every time I see them fucking play,
Never noticed it.
It's like, if you look at it, like search it up, it's really weird looking.
This matchup looks to be a barn burner. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with pretty decent looking helmet. And you got the old Big C of the Chicago Bears.
The Bucks, I'll just get right into it. Designed 1997, this particular helmet. The silver helmet with a red waving flag with the skull on it. They tried to, they talked to some designers about what could be a helmet that incites more fear, more menacing, I guess would be the word. And there was a lot of complaints that it was similar to the Raiders before that, even though it was different coloring. So they went with that. The Bears are the Bears. None of us were huge fans.
One of the most boring helmets.
It is the oldest helmet. It takes credit. 1920, when the Bears came into play, navy blue helmet, orange C. They've never wavered.
And for that, you don't get to move on.
I just don't get when you're the bear. Like, your name is a bear.
Yeah.
You can't
Do
come up with
something.
something better.
Do something.
Yeah, anything.
All right,
The bear hat.
moving back to the west side. Good matchup in the second round here. Jaguars, Steelers.
Is it?
I'm staying with the Jags. I mean, yeah, the history behind the Steelers is great and all, but I like the Jags. Jags in this one.
I had the Steelers ranked higher, and I like the Steelers.
I like the Jags.
Syrian it?
You picked the Jags?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't used a Siri. Siri that shit.
Hey Siri, heads or tails?
Tails.
Wow.
Wow.
1 seed going down.
Finally, head, tails. Jeez. Goodbye,
I just like the
Jacksonville.
history. I didn't get to talk on it. I just think it's pretty cool that every piece of that helmet means something. Even the logo being on one side means something to the original owner.
Yeah, but it looks dumb. So I just
No one
here we
cares
go.
about your meanings.
This is a great
Corey.
battle. We got wings on both sides, horns on both sides. Eagles, Vikings. Whether you like the old Nordic Viking style, or do you like, you like your birds?
Do you like
we all like
horns
our-
coming
we
out
all
of the
like our
side of your
birds. We all
heads,
like our
or
birds.
do
We all
you
like our
want
birds
wings? Do you want wings coming off the side of your head, or do you want horns and look like a badass?
Oh, so what are you going with?
I'm going
Well,
with
who's-
Minnesota.
Isn't there like a Greek god that has like wings coming off his?
Hermes?
Yeah, that guy.
That comes off his feet.
Yeah, same difference. Eagles. Moving on.
This is tough. Because I obviously like the helmets. I've said this before that are designed that way. The Rams were my number one. I like the Eagles. I like the Vikings. They're all in my top 10.
Stop the birds from flying.
I'm just gonna not cause too much controversy. I don't want to fight Stefan later. I'll go with you. I like the color better. I like the midnight green.
Once again, another fan of non-purple.
Moving on to Falcons versus the Bengals. We got Big Cats versus the Birds. We're both
The story
we're
of the
all
tournament.
fans of these mascots. Not a big fan of the Falcons color scheme. Black and red. Kind of boring to me. I like the
No,
tiger
instead you like
stripes.
black
Big
and
fan of Bengal
orange.
tigers. Oh, man. Bengals.
Obviously, I'm going Bengals too.
I was going Bengals anyway, but I just like how you're like, I don't like black and red, so instead you go with black and orange.
Oh,
Yeah, big difference.
he likes the Halloween.
Yeah.
Bird fight going on here. Cardinals, Ravens.
Ooh.
Cardinals are kind of boring. White, red. Just not a fan of red, I don't think.
Apparently.
I'm going Ravens.
Me too. I don't like the Cardinals helmet that much.
Another unanimous.
I tried to pick the Redskins earlier. So.
Yeah, we did. Let's go ahead and stay on this side. We'll just finish it out. Steelers, Eagles, Battle of Pennsylvania. Let's go.
Coming in the quarterfinals.
Fuck whatever Corey's rationale is. He's going to pick them, though, because now he has an actual argument to go against the Eagles. I'm going Eagles.
I'm going Steelers. Kevin?
Kevin, make it official.
I like the Eagles.
Wow!
He didn't have that set up. He thought you were taking the
I
Steelers.
definitely thought you were
Mhm.
going Steelers there.
I knew he didn't have the Steelers ranked high, though.
I don't like the one logo on the side that much.
Bengals, Ravens,
I'm a no-brainer. So
2 versus 3. I'm going Bengals.
I like the Bengals.
I already used my Siri, but I like the Ravens over the Bengals.
Do we want to wait and finish out this side before we get to, or do you want to just finish it out?
Wow, our two favorite teams.
Let's think. Let's ponder on
Let's wait.
Imagine that.
Over on the east side, Chargers versus the Broncos. I'll go Chargers.
I like
the color scheme better.
Yeah, I like the color scheme. I just think orange and blue, no offense to Syracuse, but it's boring. I think it's boring. I think the Knicks uniform is boring. Syracuse Orangeman, boring.
If this was the dark blue Chargers helmet, I would say otherwise, but I like the Chargers with the white. One of the few teams that can pull off a white helmet.
I just think the lightning bolt is classic as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the Dolphins versus
This
Seahawks.
is a tough one, only because of that lime green eye, though.
Lime green. Lime green and turquoise. You were a big fan of both those colors.
I know. This is tough for me.
I'm going to go Seahawks. I'm going to go with the lime green.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Put the pressure on Kev.
I was going Dolphins to put the pressure on you. I don't know. I like the teal.
I do too.
Moving on to a couple cats fighting each other. The Lions and the Panthers.
Wow, Honolulu Blue versus Carolina Blue.
I will take you guys back in time a little bit.
Oh, jeez.
When the Panthers and
Little brat.
Jaguars. My third eye going. When the Panthers and the Jags came into the league, I was a diehard Panthers fan.
And yet you're now a Jaguars fan.
How many fans do you? How many teams were you?
I will resurrect my diehard Panthers fanness.
He was Panthers, Bills,
Bengals,
Bills,
Panthers.
You said Bengals in there too.
Bills, Bengals, probably somewhere around the same time.
Panthers,
Eagles,
Jaguars.
Then I went Panthers, and I came back to the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
Now you're Jaguars fan.
It's a messy story.
Now you're Jackson Eagles.
Yeah, it's a messy story. I don't like to get into it.
I mean, more Eagles.
I'm going with Panthers. They got a history with my heart. I'll stick with it. Panthers. I actually have my room painted Panthers colors.
Black and Carolina Blue.
That's interesting.
Pretty sick.
Black room is interesting.
Big fan of Jake Del Home back then.
Just because I know where Corey's going with his, I'm gonna go with Detroit. I like their updated line versus their old school. I like the little black outline around the line. So,
What you know? I'm going with the Panthers.
yeah.
Okay. They're my NFC team.
Fair enough. Bills versus the Buccaneers.
To me, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, Bills.
Yikes! I'm going Buccaneers.
Bucks. Gotta love that big ass logo.
Let's do it. Syria.
Wow.
Ooh, now he's just being a dick.
I'm being a dick.
I'm scared to do this. Heads or tails?
It's going back to heads.
Heads. Hey Siri, heads or tails? Hey Siri, heads or tails?
It's heads.
There we go.
Oh! Wait, is that's you because you're the higher seed.
Yeah.
Higher seed is
It's the Bucks.
Yeah, my heart was racing there. That
Right,
dramatic pause by Siri.
Out. I gotta pee so bad.
Well, we got to continue this side because you don't want to miss out on the other side.
Yeah. Figure that side out.
All right, Kevin, we got the Chargers and the Dolphins.
Chargers.
Same.
We're gonna need Stefan for this one, I feel.
We probably will.
Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of the Bucks logo, the new one. I like the fact that the logo now takes up most of the helmet too. I didn't like how small it was first time around. It kind of makes it a little more cheesy looking. At least here, it just looks big. I remember when they first came out with this redesign of a redesign, I guess you can say. They had like some kind of like weird shadow on it, and that was like the quickest I've ever seen a helmet redone. Like after week one, it was gone. So
I will say, since we can't talk too much about the Panthers redesign, they haven't changed too much.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Buccaneers redesign and color schemes. I wasn't a big fan of whatever those colors were before.
Orange, red, and white.
Yeah, I mean, that red was weird. I like the silver a lot. I think it looks good with the colors they have now.
It's pewter. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. So I am a fan of that. Actually, I'm a fan. Obviously, I'm a fan of the logo of the helmet. We have them in our final 8.
Mm-hmm.
But we need Stefan.
Mm-hmm.
He already used the Siri. I don't know what he'll do.
Let's see here.
I'm a little surprised with our 2 on the other side. I didn't think the Eagles were going to make it out of there.
I tried not to.
Oh, because you wanted the Jags, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I think I went Steelers on that one. No, I did go Jags.
I had to Siri.
You
Yeah, I had to
Siri'd, yeah.
Siri.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I know. I said your name. Calm down. Jeez.
So, when
Quick recap.
picking your helmets, what kind of design draws you in? Like, obviously, from the Vikings, Eagles, and Rams helmet, that's the kind of style I prefer.
I like a more modern one. I don't like the Jets and the Giants. They went backwards in time. They had changed it and then they went back. And I'm not a big fan of the throwbacks unless it's a throwback uniform. I like something that's a little more modern. I'm more of a modern person. That's why I love living out in Seattle, because the buildings are a little more modern.
Yeah.
I'm like a historical society person's worst nightmare, because if it's an old building, I want it torn down and a new one put up in its place type personality.
Yeah.
So the only caveat to that is obviously the Chargers. I like the Chargers color scheme with the powder blue. I actually like the powder blue over the navy. That's why I like their color rush uniforms better.
Mm-hmm. No, it's an up to you.
Wow.
It's split.
Panthers, Bucks.
You just tried to knock his team out.
And now I have the chance to knock his team out.
Yes, you do.
Man. Do I really want all three of our teams in the Final Four?
Yeah.
Do I? Here's the deciding factor. If you guys were still, the old Buccaneer with his hand down.
You like that one?
Yeah. Big fan of that one. Oh, and Panthers.
His hand down. He just had a sword in his mouth. You didn't see his hands.
Well, whatever he had going on there.
You just like the Panther head better?
Mostly I'm just pissed about the Bucks beating us.
Fair biased opinion.
Not biased at all.
Well, he gets to do the same thing to you now.
That's fine. I mean, he's got to pick one of our two teams. So, we'll start on the other side. Chargers, Panthers. I like I'm gonna go Chargers.
I like the Chargers as well.
Move them on. Unanimous.
That was cool. They are cool colors. If the Denver Nuggets had a cooler symbol, they would be a bigger fan of mine, because they have the same color scheme.
Yeah.
Just their symbol's awful.
Right.
Their logo.
This will be the real championship. Eagles versus Bengals. We seem to have this problem in every bracket we do. Just kidding. This isn't the real championship. Not even sure how both our teams made it here, but they did.
Really, only because the Jaguars got booted.
Right. I would have probably picked the Jaguars over the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Eagles.
I'm going to go Bengals. I think he had Eagles ranked higher. I know he did.
He definitely did.
Yeah.
But now he's upset at me.
Can I withstand? Movie goes on.
Can you say it a little louder? We didn't quite hear you. You kind of mumbled. Well, Kevin, what'd you say? Kevin.
Yeah, I said.
You said to move the Eagles on? Fuck Philly.
That's what I said.
Eagles versus Chargers.
At least you made it to the championship.
I'm going to go ahead and just pick the Chargers. Because I know I have no shot of pulling my Eagles to a victory on this one. So
I just can't keep it in the hole tonight.
No. Destroy your life.
Normally not a problem. But Chargers, I'm going with as well.
There you have it.
Fair enough. I like that helmet.
Okay.
I forgot when the Chargers first moved to LA, they came out with like an LA like lightning bolt symbol and how fast that got shot down.
Yeah.
I was just flipping through all the logos and that was one. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that disaster that they had.
I'm curious what the Rams revamp is going to be.
I really hope they go back to the blue and yellow.
Yeah, they need to go blue yellow. I
Not
like
the
the
blue
mustard.
and gold. I'd rather see the blue.
Give me the
yellow.
mustard yellow.
I liked the gold. I liked the metallic gold.
I'm weird. I like the older color count. Like some of the teams' older color.
I don't like that yellow.
I love that yellow.
It's like mustard.
Just don't do white. The white looks dumb.
Yeah, the white looks extremely dumb, and they need to probably update that before 2020.
Go with
there
your
you have
color
it,
rush uniforms.
Chargers.
The
Our favorite NFL helmet.
Not a surprise.
Probably should be everybody's favorite NFL helmet at this point.
If we like it.
Yeah, that's our favorite NFL helmet.
I'm not mad at our Final Four, honestly.
I'm happy with the Eagles making the championship. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with coming runner-up. You know all about that kind of stuff, Corey.
Not this year.
Not even going to make playoffs, probably.
Lucky to sniff it.
I think that's about it. I think we're going to wrap it up here.
Oh, you want
We
me
don't
to
have
play
to talk
that?
about UFC yet, right? Talk about that in a
No,
couple
that's
weeks.
like
We can talk about the robbery in boxing
ooh.
again.
Canelo.
Canelo.
On top.
You can't beat him if it goes to decision. It's impossible. Even Floyd Mayweather, who won most people's eyes 10 rounds to 2, some judge had it a draw. It is almost impossible to beat Canelo.
You think the Mexican cartel has something to do with it?
I don't know what it is. I think it's that he's young and he's marketable. There's so much money behind him. Only him and Anthony Joshua have the kind of power in boxing right now. Even Floyd Mayweather, you sent out that text with his comeback. I don't see anybody interested. No one cares about Floyd Mayweather back yet.
They definitely can't have $100 pay-per-view this time.
No. And he's claiming 9 million or 9-figure payday. I just don't see it. I don't know how he thinks those figures are coming in this time.
Oh, Mayweather and Pacquiao.
Yeah, he'd have to fight Canelo again to get the kind of payday that he's really looking for.
Why are you trying to fight a washed-up Pacquiao?
That's
Rumor has it Triple G and Canelo are going to be facing again next Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, I heard that.
Pending tainted meat.
Yeah. I watched the fight.
Canelo's won both of them?
No.
No,
First one
one was draw.
Second one was Canelo. A lot of people had it a draw. Like, this one really was the draw. The first fight, Golovkin, I had 7-5. This one, I had Golovkin 7-5. If you had it a draw, I didn't really care.
Right.
I don't know if we need to see it again. These two style matchups obviously are going to be close every single time.
Really? Everyone else seems to want to see it.
I know, they do. I think it's because you have two top 5 pound-for-pound fighters fighting each other, and you don't get that a lot in this day and age.
And it's not really overmatched.
So, right. So if we get to see it 3 times, it's like amazing nowadays.
Could go either way.
Yeah.
Or it could go neither way.
I'm more excited. To me, the biggest fight in boxing is Joshua Wilder. I just want it to happen. I need Wilder to knock the shit out of Fury, get him out of the way, and let's move on.
You know, you keep saying this, but I'm tired of getting my hopes up.
Well, Joshua needs to knock Povetkin out, who's the number 4 contender, so he's not fighting a chump either. So he needs to get his thing done, and we need to move on. That's this Saturday. That's the big fight.
It's getting costly to be a fight fan.
Sir.
Sorry, I was just looking to see what our longest time ever for a podcast is.
This had to be top.
No, it's not.
It's not.
We've had some long ones. It's getting close, though.
We're not done. We can keep it going.
All right. Well, we're at 224.43. I've got a 225.53. I feel like there's one more.
Well, what else we need to talk about?
That's our longest one.
225.
Yep. So
we're just a minute away.
Yeah.
So
just have silence. Awkward silence. Why not?
Let's go. Let's set the record at silence. Moment of silence. No, but he was always silent.
We're heading into week 3 of the NFL. Tampa Bay. Undefeated still.
Cincy, undefeated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all going to have the same record after this week.
Syracuse.
You have the Bengals going 3-0.
I will double my shotgun. Both lose this week.
If what?
Shotgun.
You will double it.
My shotgun. That the Bengals
lose
and the Bucks both lose.
Both lose?
And the Eagles win. 3 factors into this bet. That's a big bet.
And you'll double your shotgun?
I will do 2 shotguns.
You will shotgun twice?
Yes.
So what do we have to do? Shotgun twice?
You don't do anything.
Is that like a celebration for you? Is that what's going on? Is that like...
Just betting on myself, really.
I
feel like he just wants a shotgun beer.
Shotgun, though. If I win, I don't do a shotgun.
Why do you have to shotgun?
Because I lost.
Oh, yeah, you two should do the bet then. I'm not in on that.
Yeah, you have to do your shotgun. I'm not.
You're not gonna bet?
Man up! Jesus, as you always tell me, man the fuck up!
I'm trying to do 2 shotguns. That's what I'm really trying to do. I don't think it's really gonna happen. I don't think we're all gonna be 2-1 after 3 weeks.
You think someone's going 3-0?
Something like that.
Or someone can go 1-2.
Shut the fuck up.
Who do you guys play?
Colts. We're not going 1.
Oh, yeah, and it's in Philly, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You're not going.
Nah. But a boy can dream.
Maybe Foles goes. No, maybe Wentz goes down again. Wentz other knee gone.
Gone.
We'll destroy.
I hope it happens now.
Breaks his collarbone.
If that happens, Stefan will destroy you.
Stefan won't be on next week's podcast if anything happens to Wentz next week.
I will be wearing a helmet.
Oh, there's going to be headbutting, for sure.
Next week's podcast, if that happens, just to sustain.
Might give you a preemptive strike.
Yeah. In all seriousness, shout out to Good Health.
Go to the doctor.
Yep. I hope Wentz is healthy.
If anybody ever needs chest compressions, let me know.
He's not your guy.
I am your guy.
That person passed away in his arms.
Person is still living.
So wrong.
At least when I left at 3 o'clock, he was still alive. So
Stefan came home talking about he needed to tattoo some tears.
You're making this take a strange turn right now.
Just so dark.
I'm going to lose my license from the things you're saying.
Apparently a 2.5-hour podcast has made Corey a different person.
Well, I don't think he plans on coming back. I think he's trying to set. He doesn't want to just beat the record. He wants to demolish the record.
I think he just wants to use that for intro.
Yeah, probably.
That's going in there. He passed away. Always cool.
Never a fool.
Stay in school.
Falcon stock.
Love your mom.
Hawks are worse.
Don't do drugs.
Braves are decent.
Cardinals are worse.
Tampa Bay beat Philadelphia. Deal with it.
Atlanta. Not Arizona.
I'm talking about.
Well, 2 of them.